Morning all. Morning. How's everyone doing? How are you all doing? Hopefully you had a good Friday without me. I had you prepared. That weekly newsletter which went out Thursday night came in clutch. All right, and we're still trading those same levels today. Okay, so as always, there is a lot of chop going on this market, okay, at the moment while we make a decision of what happens next. Why? Well, if you've read any of the news the last 24 to 48 hours, you'd see it, all right? Everyone priced in this best China situation possible where we're going to do a deal chips, this, that, and the other. It doesn't seem like much of that has happened. It's been quite the opposite, if anything, so a bit lackluster. And then you've got the wars in Iran, Trump coming out last night or yesterday afternoon tweeting, basically TikTok, all things are going to get bad for you, Iran. And then Israel came out saying, hey, we're prepared for military action because America's remilitarizing the area. And then this morning, Trump came out basically and saying, hey, we're close to a deal. Iran are starting to agree to stuff. So, take with that what you want. What I'm trying to tell you is it's likely to be choppy. Being risk on and risk off right now is happening like this. Again, we're into that age-old thing that we've done all year. Risk on, risk off, risk on, risk off within seconds because they can't make their mind up what they're doing. So you need to be careful with where you're trading, your location, and the momentum you're trading. Starting off then, or let's start off on a weekly. Weekly, we're backed inside the weekly Bollinger Band, which is much healthier for the market. We don't like closes outside beyond 2 standard deviations. Doesn't really seem to make sense. Big old doji at the top. We'll see what we do here. All right, we can find support up here. We can also fail it. So it's a big level. As we look on the daily, same story. Back inside the daily Bollinger Bands, starting to potentially have this 5-day and this Thursday low as a potential breakdown pivot. All right, so we're watching this level here. If we start to lose that, then we're looking for a trade down to here and down to here. This doesn't have to happen in one day, folks. We're talking about mean reversion here and eventually down here if we're going to do a big reversion. All right, that's a big if button maybe, but so far we're opening up inside. What I would say is overnight is we've had a look below and fail underneath, and it's very, very important that you're aware of that right now. If we go into the hourly charts and see a bit more detail. All right, so if you had my weekly newsletter, these levels have slightly adjusted. As I said in the newsletter, I wasn't able to put Friday's action in, but you can see on Thursday, the Friday open from the Thursday close, we rotated the whole of the current week. All right, we rotated the whole of the current week. We almost got down to the previous week point of control. We've left that naked POC yet again. All right, so yesterday we increased that pain. All right, we gapped down, had a little pop at the open, and came back down into testing that 900 level. There you go, Mr. 900. Look where we found a little bit of a bid. Look at this node. All right, thin in here, so we dropped through here and we found a little bid here. Now, if we'd lost 900, and we'll be coming for this. This is the target right now. It's where bears are trying to get to. If they've got too short overnight there, they're helping fuel this relief rally back upside. On the more positive news, remember when this happened, it looked like we were about to start war again. Now it looks like maybe that's not going to happen. So we're going to have to see. You're going to have to be careful. But we are, without a doubt, showing a failure underneath previous week's value. There was no acceptance down here. Bears had the chance to protect previous week's value area low. They haven't done that. All right, and we've already reclaimed previous week value, previous week point of control, all right, and previous day point of control, and currently previous day value area high. Now, if we find a base here, right, anywhere in here, it can be very aggressive up here or down here, then we can talk about a rotation back towards this node, the 500, and maybe even 550. All right, so if they've trapped sufficient shorts here and they want to rotate, they will be looking to hold dips at the open and force this rotation up. Once we get up there, all right, this is how much of a rotation we're in. That's your rotation zone. Once we get up there, if they look above and fail, or they fail inside it, they will rotate back down again. All right, and we can build this out for a long time if they want to. If they're not, if they don't have a decisive decision on, hey, we're risk on, war's done, okay, hey, we're risk off, we're going back to war, this is a problem, inflation's an issue, okay, we're back down there again. So this is your rotational zone. It showed you last week. You are in a see money, take money environment right now. So those plays I'll be looking for. Dips to hold for this drive up. If we got up there, failures up there for that drive down. If dips don't hold this morning, all right, and we go straight back inside of this, then we can think about a failure, right? If we come down and do a heavy drive, and then when we retest 300s, we can think about that failure back down to the ones, and then maybe if we get lucky, we see some form of rejection down here of this node or here, and we can think about that move down to POC. So I want to be very, very careful trading this range in here today. All right, that is where traders are likely to lose their minds today if we don't see continuation. It's only a Monday, folks, all right? It's only a Monday, so don't go hammering it. If we have a look at what's happened overnight, you can see here's the Globex move, here's the Asia move here, all right? New low, didn't quite get to the POC, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, little wash, and then London take us up before some mean reversion into the area that we broke out from in Asia, all right? And then we've climbed back up on this Trump news this morning. All right, so that's where we're at. Be aware of it. Be aware of it. All right, let's get through the lower time frames, have a look at some of the other assets. GEX, we should probably talk about GEX. We're in positive GEX right now. They can hold dips. That 270 I'd be watching. If they're willing to hold 270, that's a big under over right by the point of control. All right, so this is what we were talking about. If they're willing to hold this, they can look for these moves up into here. If they fail this, then, you know, this is really the target. This is where we really should have come to last night and didn't. And you can see that's put wall number one. It's put wall number one for a good reason right now. That's the target. All right, let's move into the ES and the other assets. Talk about the divergences at play again. All right, ES, nice move overnight. Again, protected this pivot. All right, came right down into the pivot, finding a bid out of it. There is your liquidity. It's all depending on what we're going to do now. All right, do we set a lower high versus this liquidity and come back down and retest? Do we build liquidity up here for a potential inversion of the head and shoulders and a drive back up to the highs? All right, we do have a put wall here. This is where we broke down that support became resistance. This is your big area today. So if you're watching today, you're basically using 70s to 90s as your over under. All right, so if you keep rejecting that or you do a failed breakout, you're looking for a range trade back inside. If you start basing above that, then you get a continuation trade. Same for down here. That's your middle of the mean, 430s, and then the lower side, 410s. All right, so 70, 30s, 10s, those are your levels. Spiders, same story. Obviously, we have the gap there from Thursday to Friday. Could argue there's a giant gap fill on this week if they really want to go for it. But again, look, Spiders hit that put wall one. We haven't hit that in the Qs yet, but there's your put wall one, which we've hit. We're coming back into this key level. All right, so you're watching 42s to 42s to 44s reject and allow that rotation. 42s, 44s, 39s, and 35s are your levels on Spiders. Again, this is your rotation right now. Okay, so it all depends. They can rotate this until we see like a big failure and a move down, or flush underneath, or look below and fail, or failure to even break down and back up. This is going to keep rotating. Q, same story. All right, here are your pivots. You can see there's your low, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance. We have call wall one there at 15s. How we at there is going to be important. All right, if we fail in front of it or fail into it, then that's the rotation back down to the midpoint at the 10s. Right, if we fail the 10s, they'll try and get down to overnight lows. This is your P wall, all right, your put wall one, which hasn't been taken. Remember, in the ES, we've already traded into that. We have already traded into that last night on the ES. Be aware of it. That's the pivot which was held on the ES. Look at the difference on the Spiders. Okay, big difference here. We've already traded into it. Be aware of that. Be very aware of that. All right, clean this up. Have a look at the Dixie, which should be trying to break out right now. It was trying to break out. There you go. So coming back in, but last night trying to break out off that news, coming back inside. There's your box. There's your range, right? If they start letting go of 98.9s maybe, then you get that wash straight back down. Otherwise, look below and fail, reclaim, go back up again. Okay, VIX. We will go over the bonds and treasuries. All right, VIX. Starting to base out a little bit higher. You can see it's just traversing. There's your support. We had the chance to hold this, haven't. It can just do a bounce in here all day long and chop around, right? If we're going to do a chop day, this is what I expect. If it catches a bid we know that these 20s have started becoming a level of interest more recently over the last week. All right, MAG, and actually before we get to MAG, let's quickly come down here. This is a problem, all right? This is a major, major problem for the market. It's the 30-year, all right? This breakout is a problem for the market, all right? This is a very, very, very aggressive move. If this starts going, this is a real big problem for the market. This means no rate cuts, all these things that we priced in is going to be a problem. It's the 30-year, it's the main one that's going. We talked about bids holding in here for the last, I don't know, year or so, basically. We're starting to see it now, all right? They are starting to hold bids in here, all right? This is not what you want to see, all right? So if we start going breakout in some of these, this market is likely to go risk off. All right, so it's a big if and but that's what we're starting to see. All right, it means no cuts and major, major problems. And we can just quickly have a look at move. Just very quickly, give me a second, folks, before we move on. Get it? Here we go to bonds. All right, fairly steady. All right, MAG, Apple. All right, big day on Friday for Apple. Failing to follow through right now. That looks like a failed attempt to hold and break out. This is your level. Failed follow through would be basically 300, 301. So if they fail that, you're going to leave those buyers at those highs caught. We are slightly gapping down here on Apple. Their target will be 97s, and if they break that, it would be 95. So slight gap down on Apple. You'd be watching failed follow through versus 300 to 301. That's what I'd be watching. Amazon. Another gap down. All right, so last week that was the box, that was the breakout attempt on Wednesday. Thursday you had your gap down. You're now leaving these buyers caught. All right, I would say there's probably pressure here on Amazon unless it can reclaim and get back into this box. Right, these constant failures of 65, that is going to be downside pressure on Amazon. So that's 2, not looking too good to start the day. Goog opening up kind of flat here. Great day for it on Wednesday. Repriced the mid. All right, if we think about that. All right, that's 50%. Holding the mid right now. Possible for bullish continuation if it's willing to hold that. All right, if we start losing 89s, then you can see we're thin in here for a retest of 84. So you can set price levels. It is looking like it's going to start to lose that. That's quite an aggressive move down. Meta. Same kind of story. There's your breakout. Wednesday. Thursday push. Friday failed to retake the high. There's your new box. We lose that. We're gapping down. We're transitioning between this box and this box right now. All right, this is no man's land. So they want to try and buy dips at 603s and they want to sell pops at 615s right now. I don't know, folks. It doesn't look great out here, I would say, at the moment. Microsoft. All right, we've had some strength there. And we did have news come out on that. So Softy, big drive up. Gates has sold all his positions. So that's probably causing some of this weakness. But you can see we're starting to move out of this base. So if they're willing to hold 16s and 12s, we can start moving upside. We left stops up there. So I think there's a chance here. There is a chance here. On the daily, remember, it's still got a lot of room if this market's going to get going. We didn't undercut. We're starting to see this move here. All right, so it's possible. I'm still long Softy at the moment, but we'll see. This market feels like it's on a bit of a knife edge right now. Nvidia, all right, that is a problem. That is a problem. There's your big push into, why is this saying Friday? There we go. Thursday, gap down Friday, failing to get back up to the highs. New rotation created between this old zone and leaving buyers caught. So certainly buyers from Thursday are caught now. If you continue to see pressure on these nodes, at 30s and 32s. If they can't reclaim 30s and 32s, you're going to keep dunking down to 24s and 25s. If you lose that, there's a bigger wash available in this market. I've got to get going here. All right, in Tesla, undercut, same story, weak. It doesn't look great for the MAG this morning, I'll tell you that. It really does not look great for this MAG this morning. Here's the open, folks. I'm not too bothered about trading the open. We let it wash around. We will let it wash around for a minute. We can have a quick look at chips as well on the side monitors, see where these are opening back up to the top side of their range right now. So we'll watch that 180 on those chips again, same as last week. Yes, NVIDIA earnings Wednesday. Yes, you're absolutely right. All right, back down into previous week point of control here. Let's see if they find a bid here and go back up to previous day value area high, or if they let it go. I think this is going to be a very, very choppy session here. Doubt we make too many big decisions. My time axis is not showing. It's here on the bottom. Okay, so they held previous week point of control and previous day point of control. We're coming back up to previous day value area high. I think we are going to chop. We are going to chop, 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 chop. Hands off the mouse. Let this do what it wants for a minute. See what these chips names do. If we start to lose point of controls, we can think about the dive back down to previous day value area low, which would be the 230s. But it's a big if, but, and maybe right now. But if we start to lose these, we can think about it. We are seeing some sell pressure here, but as bids keep showing up at the 300s, they don't want to let go of the 300s right now. They do not want to let go of the 300s right now. But if they lose that, there is a chance for that rotation. Big cool wall, big high volume level on the GEX for ES here as well. And it's closed its gap. Your guess is as good as mine here, folks. It's not a nice level to trade around a big high volume node. Remember, they can base here and take us up into this, or they can lose this and force a rotation down. We just have to wait. Let it do some wiggling out. It's only been 2 minutes in. What are we seeing down here on the VIX? Right, it's close price. SOXL looks a little bit weak. Still not into its VWAP. All right, we'll watch here if we get a little snap underneath. So we start to let go. I will join short here if we start to lose the bid. Watching these 300s. Put a little piece on here for the wash. Here we go. Okay, so let's see if we can get down in towards 230s. High time frame algo here. Do not be too greedy. We are in see money, take money. Do not be greedy. You want to stay heavy at 300, certainly at 320s. Do not want to see a reclaim. I will just cut it straight away if we start reclaiming 300s and 320s. ES into gap fill, be very aware of this. Yes, beautiful. All right, it's 20 points. Let's see if we can keep washing. Move stopped in the money. We need to basically flip this grey box. We know we can find a bid here and here, so we're being very, very careful. We'll see if they're very, very kind to us and give us 70 points here or not, if they just take us out straight away. 300 needs to stay heavy here, or I'll get knocked out. There we go, out. And they might come back up for 320 now. I can always re-add if they're going to defend 320. I'd be very tight. Oh, sorry, I haven't got the profile on for you. I do apologise. There we go, Alex, very tired this morning after travelling. So just a small scalp there. And the rest break even. And we'll see if they defend these 320s. Otherwise, we go straight back upside again. Like I said, see money, take money. ES relative weakness here. SOXL finding that bid off VWAP. We did just talk about that. So it's just found a bid off VWAP on the chips. And that's where the strength's coming from in NQs as ES starts to bleed underneath previous day close, which would be under here for us. So we've seen the divergence, ES bleeding under this level here. We're not seeing that yet. We are seeing chips find a bit of a bid. There's your sort of 320 and New York Open rejection. We can play this again if they prove themselves, but at the moment, not too keen. It's tricky to want to pull the trigger here again, but I think we're going to get a reflush. I want to see a pop-up fail just so I'm certain. Back under that 300. All right, can you pop to 300? I'm back in again. I would like pops to 300 here. Tiny size because I want a pop to sell into. ES starting to let go. SOXL, that VWAP's going to be very, very key, SOXL. All right, let's see if we fail these 300s now again. Yep. Can you give me continuation to 270s? Nope. I added on that last pop-up. Looking for 270s. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Get out of the way, Mr. 270s. There's a bid there that keeps refreshing. Give this a minute to wiggle. I think once we let go of 270s, we get a flush to 230s. So sellers got quite aggressive, 290s to 270s. I'm giving this a second to move out. I'm playing very, very small size now. SOXL back under its VWAP. It's a key decision point here. It's an RBS zone as well. Good rejection of 300. Come on, get under 270s because that once that bid's gone, we go. Hey, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. All right, if 270 stays heavy, we can sit in this with runners now. We're looking for a 230 cover. Oh, it's nice when it works. Let's see if they defend 270s because there was a bid refreshing there this morning and he's now underwater. Oh, we go. Here we go, folks. So we're looking for, I would pay yourself here into these 230s, into gap fill. So this is Globex. This is gap fill. This is where I'd like to get. So anywhere in here, we're starting to pay ourselves, right? We are starting to pay ourselves in here, please. Welcome back to the show, folks. We do not want to see a reclaim of 270s here, folks, all right? You don't. If they reclaim 270s, they're going to go 300s like that. So be aware with your stop, please. Big battle here. This is where we just broke down from, so it's very, very important. SOXL stayed heavy, came into cool wall 2. It's under its VWAP. We would like SOXL. Remember, this morning we would have loved to have seen a drive up to 180s be sold into on SOXL. They sold 75s, which is fine. We're down at 67s. We'd like to see 69.70s stay heavy on SOXL now, if we're going to have any continuation. But I'll remind you, we are in a see money, take money environment today. All right, because we are rotating previous week's value. We'll take it, eh? We will take it. I should remind you, I'm a Northall affiliate, aren't I? Take Profit Trader just announced that they've extended their 50% off sale, right, until, is it next Sunday? Until next Sunday, all right? So you've got another 7 days or something on that. So you might want to check that out. 50% off using code FLOWZONE. And here we go. Come on. Come to Papa. Come to Papa, fill this gap for me. Come to Papa. And what else should I remind you? Oh, Lucid just started a big sale as well. All right. They also have a 50% sale on any account, including the direct fundeds. All right. Max 2 per trader. So code FLOWZONE for Take Profit Trader, code FZT for TPT for Lucid. God, I can't talk. Code FLOWZONE for Take Profit Trader, code FZT for Lucid. Both of those 50% off sales right now. Just past my counts. Thanks so much, Alex. Nice. Dude, you snuck that trade in. Oh, not really. I told you the level. I had 2 goes at it. First one stopped out my runners. Second one, I could see. It's the thing is, when we're playing momentum and order flow on the chart, I have to be able to be flexible and trade what comes, right? So it's not always like a pre-plan. But you would have heard me say 300s and 270s. There's a bid at 270s. Once we let go of that, we're flush. It took a couple of attempts. Once we let go of it, we flushed. We're right back to that level now, right? So it's the same. It's the same story. It's just that I can't always pre-plan really far ahead when it's a development of order flow in the first. I mean, what do we take that? In the first 6 or 7 minutes, right? But I will tell you when I'm taking it. I'll tell you a little piece on here. If we stay heavy versus this, I'll add. That's me narrating as we go. We can't always plan the exact thing, but we did say today if we lose this, we're probably coming this, and I'm looking to see if we can get a runner to move down there right now into those 230s. Here we go. Looks like it's about to come, and if we get under that, we can look at lower time frame algo and you know, the old VWAP and the point of control. We can look at all these areas, but these are our cover points. We're starting to cover some here. If we stay heavy, it'd be really fun. Oh my God, SOXL's getting murdered. Guess who is long SOXS from Thursday? Oh, from Friday. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I would love chips to fucking bleed this week because I'm in a quadruple leveraged short on them right now. And I added. Here we go, folks. All right, into these cover points for you 230s. You want to be covering a good chunk here, and then we'll see if we get acceptance underneath previous day's value and in the gap fill. So here's your gap fill. So this is your cover point. So I'm taking some off here, and we'll just see. Like they might want to hold the gap and find a bid now. There you go. There's your gap fill right in the yellows, 230s. There you go. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. All right, SOXL coming right down to a huge high volume node as well for the GEX. So you'd want SOXL to pop and sell 67s now, but we've made most of our money now. All right, we've made most of our money. If you want to hold a runner, you can absolutely hold a runner. Your next levels to trade into are basically 200s and then down here into 29,100s. Right, but that's the easy money for the morning made. Now we just wait and see what's next. All right. Let's see. We're rejecting 70s again. So you can see the importance of 70s. All right, the importance of 70s. This, I'm telling you, in here this morning, there was a refresh bidder. There was someone buying and buying and buying and buying who's now underwater. And if he starts liquidating, all right, we're into TP1, TP2, TP3. We can think about if they really let it go, this is where I'd love to see the market. That's the naked POC, which we should have really come into last night, but we didn't. So I know there are a few guys in Discord who are trying to hold the short runners down there. Here we go, folks. Right, so you're down to smaller size. You should have paid yourself. Your stop should be in the money. You wouldn't want a reclaim of 270 now, and just see how far this bleeds. Big selling coming in here at 220s. Let's see if we get the 200 break here for more continuation of downside. Let's see what we get here. It would be nice. All planned out pre-market. Really good. All right, we're into overnight point of control. This is the most traded level overnight, 200s. If we get a failure of 200s, then there's a chance to rotate back down to 29,080. All right, 29,080 down here is your next sort of site. Oh, damn, chips are getting murdered. My swing account is going to look juicy when I look over to it. I already know it. My swing account is going to look juicy. How much is SOX up today? Yes, we're looking good. Good. We're looking good. All right. So paying yourself some into these levels, and we'll see now. We'll see if we can get down into here. This would be nice. I don't expect it. We expect chop. There we go. There's the bid. So your 70s, if you haven't already been out, your 70s wants to be your out on your runners. You could even say value area low, but basically that 60s to 70s wants to be your out on the runners. Do not try and defend that. Do not be aggressively adding in. Looks good. Looks good, baby. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Come to daddy. Let's go. Let's go. All right, VWAP here. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Here we go. All right, 160s, watching SOXL. If they lose 160s, 150s is on deck, and this thing is going to absolutely fucking melt if we're going to do that. We looking good, baby. We looking good. We looking good. We're playing the rotations, and if we get more than the rotations, then we'll be very, very happy. All right, opening range now set. Remember, covering some into this grey box. I would absolutely love us to come down into here. It would be absolutely phenomenal. Past 5 TPT evals now. Let's go. Thank you, bro. Hey, nice work, Revamp. Fantastic work, my friend. Thank you so much. It's a very generous tip there. I appreciate you with the super chat. Very, very kind. All right, here we go, folks. So we'll see if we can extend this opening range. You should have paid yourself a ton of money. The next level we're looking for is this 29,090s. We do have a put wall here. All right, if we get continuation today, it would be 29,090s. And then really we can look for, what's the old, basically 700 would be really good. I think that will come later in the week, but that would be really, really good later in the week. Up 500 on MES with 1 M in Q. Pan V, I love it. I love it, mate. Nice work. All right, back inside the opening range so that you can see this grey box. We're finding a little reaction here. Now, if they don't defend 30s now, because we did say 70s, I'd say 30s now. You'd want them to defend 30s. If they don't defend 30s, you want to be done with it. All right, if they can't defend 30s, you want to be done with it. This is looking very, very good so far. We've paid ourselves a good chunk of change on the way down here, because we're smart like that. ES finding a little bid just in front of 24-hour view up, right on the lower time frame algo. Those who trade with me, right on the lower time frame algo. ES finding a bid there. So we might go higher time frame, lower time frame rotation while they start building out the liquidity. If you look at this up here on ES, the higher time frame market is in a liquidity building structure right now. All right, so bids starting to come in here. You can see lots of bids down at 150, 135 right now. I'd like to see those re-attacked to see if we can wash them out. Here we come. Coming back down to the 150, 135s. Let's see if we can wash all these guys out and get all the way down into 29,080s. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Looks very good. New lower day coming here. Come on, break this lower day and wash them out. Let's go 110s. Here we go. Big seller coming in here at 40s. Pay myself a little bit because he's very, very big down here. 300 lot just came flying in. Okay, so he's got a little bit stuck there. So worth noting there on that lower day break, big boy seller at 300 lot got stuck at 140. So your transition right now is 140 to 180. You've got an 80-point wash back and forwards. Above 180, they're going to test 200. These are where all the big boy sellers have been so far this morning. SOXL trying desperately to find a bid, struggling. All right, we have a looks like a dark pool print off the open today, which we're coming down and testing into these 157. So I'll be interested if they hold this dark pool print from this morning. If we start holding here, I'm going to take all of this off. Do not want to see a 200 break. I've got tiny size left. About to take me out here on the 200. That's where, all right, out, done. Done. They can travel lower if they want. That'll do it for me. That will do it for me. I can always re-enter, but I don't want to get caught in a ping-pong battle. The reason I'm saying this is down here, all right, this boy or girl or person or whatever, alien, right, it's a 100 lot delta, but it was a 300 lot seller, all right at the low. That's a good auction of the low. These sellers have now started to get caught, so we're traversing up to test out these levels that we sold back down from, right? So 20s probably gets tested where we have these imbalances. I don't want to give all this back, right? So remember, we were short from these breaks here, 300 and 270s. We've made really good money, 120 to 160 points, right? If they keep rejecting up here, we can think about adding back on. But for now, I'm done with it because I'm having to remind myself we are still inside previous week's value, all right? We are still inside previous week's value. You must zoom out constantly and remind yourself where we are. This is previous week's value. This is what we're rotating today. All right, so we looked below overnight and failed. We didn't quite get to the top side, but we came up to this node and failed. We came back down to the low side. All right, we are rotating this. We don't want to be too greedy. All right, we will open this up. If we start rejecting previous week's value, we will open this up and we will be looking for this node and underneath here. These are all in the newsletter. For me, I'm done. Maybe I'm going to regret that, taking it off. But Monday morning, I never have an issue with locking some profit in on a Monday morning. If we see acceptance lower, we can always get back in, right? We can always get back in. Maybe some of you are holding on, but I'm done with it. I'm just being honest with you. Done with it for a minute. The dark pool print, yeah, I can show you. I'm going to assume it's a dark pool print because of the size of it. I could be wrong. All right, pre-market. See this? This. That looks like a dark pool print to me. All right, and we're right down to it. So there's the push up, there's the sell. Underneath all these key levels, you can see this looks like some form of dark pool fund pinned it here and held it here this morning. If we let go of that, look how we're finding a bid right there. It's peculiar, isn't it? I doubt that is a legit open. Like on the New York session, that's probably a dark pool, probably sat there, almost like an iceberg, right? Normally we get these big wicks. They're normally dark pools. I can't say that for sure, but I'm going to assume it is just by the size of it, which is why we were watching that level, right? And we're starting to find a bid there. Funny that, isn't it? Right, you'll start to see these ticks from the market. And this is the market not playing very good poker. It's winking at you, being like, this is my hand. You better know my hand, right? So make sure you understand that. It looks like it was a good cut and cover for me. How did I overcome trading or a lost day? Well, you got to understand, I talk about this a lot in psychology, all right? My personal feeling is, as someone who has a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and someone who played elite level sport and studied elite level sportsman for my psychology, that we are, as a modern day society, especially a Western modern day society, drilled into winning. You have to win. We have to win everything. We have to win in competition. We have to win at work. We have to earn the most money. We have to everything is built around winning. That concept is not going to serve you well in trading. It is going to absolutely destroy your trading career. If you have a Lombardian ethic, especially for those of you who are American, Lombardian ethic, win at all costs kind of mentality, which is what most people have, right? And if you're a competitive by nature, I'm competitive by nature, what you will do is when you are losing, you will try and do everything to win that, which means you will add more size on to a losing trade, thinking you will escape it with a win. You're not. You're just going to make things worse. You'll have a red day, and you will continue to fight that red day because you think that you need to win. You don't, all right? Red days, red trade. You'll see this morning I cut one straight away. They are part of the process. You need to get burnt. Unfortunately, my belief is, I can tell you all this, but you need to get burnt enough times that your brain goes, hey, I don't want to fucking do that anymore. I'm so sick of making things worse and crying in my hand and crying to my wife or my husband or my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whoever at night because I make things worse and blaming everyone else. You need to get to the point where you're so sick of doing it that your synapses change and your brain goes, hey, we're not going to do that next time. What we're going to do is exit the trade, eat the loss, and come back the next day. That's the big problem with trading, is it's the complete opposite to everything else you do. All right, you are taught, I don't know, American football, soccer, I don't know what, hockey, rugby. Try harder, go effort, put more effort, be more physical, score more goals. That ain't going to help you in trading. What's going to help you in trading is to do what the chart's telling you and to do less. That's what's going to help you. All right. So I wish I could tell you how you're going to get better at taking losing days. I can't, because everyone's different, but it's probably going to be a pain point. For most, it's a pain point. It's like, oh, well, that was a $20,000 lesson. I don't want another $20,000 lesson. I want to learn my lesson now. Okay. And the other thing that I always say is, you want, by the way, we're starting to hold previous day's value and current value area low. So we can rotate back up now. All right. So this again, we looked below previous day's value area low. We held the gray box. We just held previous day's value area low. We're now through point of control. They're coming to the upside. They're going to come and test this area here and this area here if they get through it. And if they get through that, they're going to go again. All right. So we are see money, take money rotation. How we act here is important for bears in here. Do bears defend current value on the day? All right. Do they defend it, or are they going to get squeezed out? Anyway, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm trying to coach you on this at the same time. Haven't received today's newsletter. There's no newsletter today. It went out Thursday because I was on vacation. Normally it goes out Saturday. It went out Thursday night. But the levels are the same levels. You can adjust your previous week value area levels very, very slightly, but it's all there for you. What was I saying? Yes, so if you've played professional sport or anything like that, you will be drilled and coached into, you know, more effort, get stronger, do this, do that, do that. It ain't gonna work for you. All right, effort is not gonna work for you in trading. If you deem, by the way, that's if you deem effort by taking more trades. Right? If you deem effort by reading, studying, reflecting, that's what's going to help you. Effort in trading, putting more size on when you shouldn't, taking more trades when you shouldn't, it's not going to help you. That's like taking more shots at goal, but you're taking them, this is a soccer talk, like as a goalkeeper from your own line. Like it's a Hail Mary. Stop Hail Marying. How was vacation? It was awesome. It was awesome. I fucking love Austin, man. Like, I've only been once before. I went for the Grand Prix a couple years ago. I thought I loved it. Came back, told my wife I loved it. You know, sometimes you need a second trip just to make sure, you know. Austin in the Grand Prix, obviously super sexy. Everyone was in town. And that day it was Georgia against Texas as well. So it was packed, right? But it was great. What did we do? First night we got in, we went to, I forget the name of it. We went straight out to see a friend at a Japanese speakeasy bar on Congress near Soho House. And then we went for dinner at Elizabeth Street, the Thai Viet kind of restaurant. I'd say Viet because it had pho, which was really nice. And then we scooted around, me and my wife, after a few bevies, which was really fun. There you go. So starting to see bears are trying to defend previous week and previous day point of control. You can see the rotation setting up here. This whole blue area we're going to rotate in. So I'm just letting this settle down. If you wanted to be long from here, you could. If you wanted to be short from up here, you can. For me, I'm just letting it do whatever dance it wants for a minute until someone starts to win. I think we might start bleeding lower if these chips start wanting to let go of that pre-market low. We will see, though. We're in a rotation. ES has caught a fucking giant bid and is breaking out of highs right now, just so you know. That's how different the market is. Yeah, and then we went around on the scooters. I showed you around town a bit. We just booted around, which was fun. The next day, went to my friend's house in the morning. We went for a coffee, and he showed me around where he lives. And just hung out with his kids. It was nice to see the family for a bit. And then we went and checked out a couple of houses, just like all areas. Here comes the flush. They are trying to get you underneath previous day value area low. There is a bid down here at the moment, but they're trying to get you this break. ES is at high of day. You have massive divergence right now. ES is at high of day breaking out. You are trying to break down a low of day, and this is all due to the chips. All right. And then what did we do? We had a little bit of breakfast there. Then we went to, is it Barton Springs? Barton Springs, I think that's right. We checked out that area for a bit, like the pool or the freshwater dam pool, whatever you want to call it. Then we went to Terry Black's, stuffed our faces. And then we went and hung out our rooftop pool for a bit at the hotel, had a few cocktails. We went to the Roosevelt, which was kindly suggested by one of you. Had a couple cocktails there, which was awesome. And then we left there and we went to Perla's for some oysters, more cocktails, and then just did sort of a little bit of a crawl and scoot back home. It was really nice. It was great. It was great. Had a great time. All right, ES is trying to hold its pivot up here to move higher. SOXL looks like it wants to break down underneath low of day. We are stuck in the middle. If you think about today's range. Can we get a fib? All right. Here's your opening range high. Here's the low. We are just hanging around the middle right now. I think the chips want to break down, though. There's a new low on the chips. Here you go. This is the thing. If they start letting go, this thing might be a bit cooked. If they start letting go, this thing might be a little bit cooked here. It's a big if. All right, then, new low day on the chip names. If they start rejecting this on any pullback in on the chip names, you're going to get a wash. I'll give you a readout on the mag because we haven't done that yet today. Tesla 1.79% down, Nvidia 0.15% down, Microsoft 0.19% up, Meta 0.5% down, Google 2% up, Amazon 1.28% up, Apple 0.61% down. So complete mixed bag. Like I said, choppy market expected. Here's the important thing now. What happens at 156.50s on SOXL if they retest it? Do they resell that or not? And that's what I'd be waiting for. So like I said, if you wanted to be short up here, you could. If you wanted to be long from down there, you could. And this low volume node now, I would say shorts will want to protect 32s now. But remember, at low of day, you have a lot of selling currently caught. Currently, doesn't have to stay caught, but currently at low of day, we have all these sellers down here caught. Look, 180, 160, 140, just 20-point ranges. All right, so be aware of that. If you're looking for continuation, be aware that so far down here, they haven't found acceptance lower. It doesn't mean that they can't without SOXL doing what it's doing, but I'm just trying to tell you, like, that's where we're at. Here it comes, right into these levels. If we start to break here, 160s, remember, is that first level that player's caught, 180 and 160s. If we start to break here with the chips losing a bid, we can start seeing a breakaway kind of trade back into that 29,080 that we were looking for this morning. Big if, but that's the if right now. So you can see 60 to 80 the transition. We can think about the short if we pop up and fail. Don't really want to chase price down here. ES back into its gap fill and its New York VWAP. I mean, it's absolutely insane, the divergence here right now. Just waiting to see if we pop to 180 and fail it or not at the moment. So I don't want to short low, but if we are going to see a breakaway, are you going to give it to me? No. All right, they're testing this seller now at the 140 who's stuck before. So we've done the 80 to 60. Now we're doing the 60 to 40 transition. Can't get involved in this down here, unfortunately. They just added more delta into 40 there. There's a passive buyer there for now. If he gets out of the way, this thing's going to be very nasty. Very, very nasty because he's had to absorb a lot of pressure down there in the 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to break under. But there's definitely a passive buyer at 40. So pushing back up towards the 80s. This is what I'm waiting for to see how we act here. No one really selling it yet. They can lift higher. There's the sell on the 80s. All right, I put a little piece on there. Let's hope I don't get caught. Let's hope I don't get caught there. There we go. Nice. That's why we wait for price to come to our level. This should break lower now. They've done the work. We don't want it to hold 40s. This should now break lower. I said to you, I'm going to wait for 80s. Come on, get out of the way at 40s, mate. You giant bidder down there, go away. Go away. This is 5th attempt to break lower. Come on, get out of the way, Mr. Rebid. Get out my fucking way. If he doesn't get out of the way, I will have to cut. He's absorbed a lot down there. But once we get under 40s, it should be pretty fast, given the amount of size he's gobbled up. Get out my way. Don't come and take me out. Don't you come and take me out, you bastard. I'll take break even here if I have to. Trying to give it a little wiggle. About to take me out. I'll have another go if it sets up. I'm just not willing. If they get through 180, they can go 190 and then 220 very quick. So I'm not willing to get squeezed out. That's why, again, I eat the loss. My ego isn't big enough to keep me in this trade. Share my P&L. All right, dick face. Suck your mum. Share your P&L. Share your entry. Share your knowledge with me. Tell me where to trade ahead of time. Made you look like a dick, didn't I? Fucking loser. All right, here's the 140. This is the level. I'm not in it now. Here we go. Here's the break. So let's see. If they stay heavy versus 40, you'll get the transition to 82s. Again, I'm not in it now. I got knocked out. I said to you I got knocked out of the 80s. That's the truth. So we'll see. It's a big, big level that you can see every seller down there under 40 just got absorbed again. There's definitely someone gobbling up the tape down there at 140 today. If they break away from that, you should get the run down to here, but we're going to come back up to POC in this thin volume. So there's definitely a passive buyer down here. We identified him earlier. They had the chance to break away there. They just failed the breakaway there. So we come back up upside now into this gap, low volume node. And if they want to transfer back up, they will. Where's SOXL? Made a new low and it's coming to test that 57s. Coming to test the 57s. Look at that range. See money, take money. Back inside of value. That was a good cut from me. And we will just see now. The more it does this, the less I will be interested in trading today. As we know, Alex doesn't really enjoy trading range. Did Trump do something? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. It's more likely that it's just the range playing out, mate. Like we said, all those sellers at those lows. That's why I cut it. I don't want to get stuck at those lows. But if buyers hold 90s and 80s now, they will try and traverse back up. So this is getting very, very choppy. All right. These are the sellers at the lows. Look at this delta. 60 and 40s has become very heavy. Look, they just added again down there and got caught. This is how I know there's a passive buyer down here. Price can't move lower than this right now. So there's a passive buyer down there. All right, so he's absorbing the tape. If he gets out of the way, there'd be a bigger move, but he's not getting out of the way right now. So you have to observe what's actually taking place. Here's the 57.58 retest on SOXL. So I'd say if buyers come in and absorb here, 80s, then they've got a chance to rotate back higher again. It's going to be very tricky to trade this edge to edge now. Huge divergence. If I show you ES, is that high of day? Oh, on the wrong block. Yeah, ES. Where are you, mate? All right, high of day, pulled back, starting to hold, trying to break out. All right, higher lows, trying to break out. SOXL, low of day, getting hammered. All right, which is why we've got weakness in the Qs. All right, very different charts. Very, very different charts at the moment. Gave a super chat, but it never showed. You probably didn't access it or pay for it or something, mate. Who doesn't put the ticker on the screen? Mate, if you can't tell what I'm trading by the number on the size or by the title in the chat or anything like that, you shouldn't be trading. You shouldn't be trading. I don't want the ticker on the screen. How about that? I don't want it. I don't want it cluttering up any more space. It's cluttered enough as it is. Fuck me. Like, let me guess. You're a 20-year-old person who's had everything given to you in life and you think that everyone should do what you want because you're entitled. Let me guess. Your parents should have bent you over and given you a good spanking. Because the market's certainly going to give you one with that attitude. My entitlement is so much more important than anyone else's. Give me what I want. I'm not willing to learn. I'm not willing to read. I'm not willing to look at price. Give me exactly what I want because I said so. Oh. And I've changed my name to King. Get the fuck out of here. I ain't got time for that. You must be mistaking me for someone who gives a fuck. I don't. All right, I'm here to teach and help. If you don't like it, get out. Get out of it. I don't care. I'm not here to satisfy your individual needs. All right, you're starting to see market try and rotate and create a W here. The thing is, we're pinned in. We're doing Lewis Hamilton, right? Box to box. Oh, wrong drawing one. Box to box. Look. Box to box, box to box, box to box, box to box. We're doing the Lewis Hamilton. Why? Because we're in range. We're in range right now. And just being patient now to see if there's any meaningful recovery on the chip names. Otherwise, we're just going to range out and chop everyone. Am I watching Arsenal tonight? Absolutely. We need a big 3 points tonight, please. Please, 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 please. It's an early game, though. It's weird. All right, that bid is at 35s now. These guys, honestly, I don't think they know what to do with it. I said that at the beginning of the day. It very much feels like that again now. Let me have a look. What's going on here? Let's have a little look-see. UK Prime Minister, we need to show we can turn things around. I'm not going to walk away. Well, you're going to be the most hated man in the UK if you're not going to walk away, mate, even by your own party. That's not going to end well for you. Inside day, yeah, exactly. Inside day. Inside the place to be. All right, you can see we are just stuck. We're building. Ninja's gone down. Great. Well, that's fun. I'm going to reboot this again now. What's this, third day in a row? I might have to do a hard reset on my computer, I think. Let's open back up. All right, we're trying to base. We're building a high volume node here. Point of control on the day. We're rotating backwards and forwards above and below this. ES looks much, much stronger. It looks like NQ's trying to find a bid with these chips to get up to the top side right now. And if it does do that, well, we'll see. Here come the sellers, though. I mean, this is really, really chop city right here. This is absolutely wild. Back down to value area low. No acceptance under value area low, which is here. Previous day's value area low. We are washing about. Can they make a mind up what they want to do today? We have to let them build out liquidity. A lot of this is going to depend on whether they find a bid on the chips right now. Here they go. Under value area low or at value area low. Is there any continuation? If so, they're going to come for two 190s. Fill some of the imbalances. All right, Ninja now open. Here we go. NQ lower highs. I mean, yes, but we're not seeing acceptance. All right, we're not seeing acceptance right now. Remember, right, acceptance underneath previous day value would need to be under here. Underneath previous week close would need to be under here. Underneath previous week value area low would need to be under here. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a play between previous day's value, previous day's value. This is previous day and previous week is here. All right, so we're just chopping previous day and previous week right now, while it makes up its mind, right? We had the easy money. Watch the breakdown to here. That was it. Now they chop everyone up who's not patient enough to let it develop. Trump's talking. I haven't seen anything, but it doesn't mean you're not right. Let me have a look. I mean, it would make sense why we started going very wiki. Iran, US demands are still excessive despite draft changes. So there we go. So Iran don't seem happy with the US demands. Who knows, folks? I mean, answers on a postcard at this point. It's been going on for quite a while. Alex, where have you been in the vacation? Missed you. Oh, I went to Austin in Texas for a long weekend with my wifey. It was good. I was actually quite well behaved. I probably ate a bit too much. I did go to the gym. I didn't drink too much. Yeah, I saw that. I saw in Austin as well as 4 shootings, right, over the weekend. Congrats on the 40K. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, I mean, I never imagined that. I started trading live streaming, I don't know, a year and a half ago. So it's been quite the rise, which has been fun. Hopefully lots of you, other than you people who want it all laid out for you, and I'm willing to learn, most of you turn up most days, and I think you're learning some good edge here. When to trade, when not to trade. All right, just ping-ponging around here. You can see between previous week point of control and current day point of control, we are ping-ponging around here. There's no edge in this market right now. That's why I'm leaving it alone at the moment. I do not want to become the liquidity. If we're not going to use liquidity, we're going to build liquidity. I don't want to become liquidity in a build. So we just wait. We just wait now. Do you use anchored or fixed? And on the screen right now, you're seeing anchored, mate, if that's what you're asking. This is chop suey right now. All right, SOXL just faded versus 160. It depends if they put in a higher low here on SOXL now, the 57s. I'd say that's quite an important level right now, the 57s. And if they don't hold it and they make a new low, the put wall is at 150s on SOXL, which would be fairly drastic. Which would take us back to Tuesday last week's low. I wouldn't mind that because I am swing short on them right now. For this a bit of mean reversion. Okay, so we're rotating now. Here's previous day's value area low. SOXL looks heavy. If they start letting go of 200s, we're going to probably come back down to low of day now that we've built sufficient liquidity. We'll just see, folks. We'll see if we get under 200s, how we act. Still bidding 200 at the moment. It's on a knife edge here because of the divergence. So just rotating current day's value now. So from current POC, we faded previous week POC to current POC. We lost current POC, we came down to previous day value area low, current day value area low. If they find a bid here, we come back to here. If they get in above that, we come back to here. If we lose this, we come back to here. That's the rotation. That's how the market operates in a rotation. We are not at an extreme. Like I said, the extremes, I guess, if you want to short here and buy here, those are the extremes of current day. Those will change, but of current day, we were short here. This was our cover. You could have bought that, sold that, sold that, bought that, sold that. That's your range right now. I don't like trading range, so I'm going to wait for continuations when they're done with it. Thanks to you, I discovered gamma exposure. Nice, man. I mean, it helps in markets to understand where the hedging takes place, and it's really good in price discovery. It can be very, very useful in price discovery. Still can't get it like mine. And you're paying for tit data, Tyson. DM me in Discord afterwards, and we'll double check all the settings together. I'll just send you a screenshot of everything. So we go, held previous day's value area low, back to current day point of control. If they hold a bid here, then they try and get back up to previous week point of control, and they're just going to keep chopping. It will keep chopping here. For me, this is not a market with good edging right now. This is a market diverging. Yes, looks like it wants a new high of day. Is that Tyson of the IB fame? It is. That's the man. That's him. Yeah, I use 70 value area for volume. I don't change anything. Got to go present for work for the next 2 hours. Glad I grabbed some wins today. Nice work, folks. Nice work. How do you get the suite system? If you bought the suite system, James, if you log into the back end where all the courses are, it will tell you what to do. But if you just send me an email from the email that you bought it from, I'll add it for you. No, not doing Grand Cup, not doing anything like that. Not interested. Was invited, not to Tradeify one actually, but for the Ninja Trader. But there wasn't much, I did post it in the Discord, there wasn't much appetite from people. The problem is, I'll be very honest with you, the problem is with these Grand Cups and and that everyone wants to win. What did we just talk about? Psychology today of trading. What's the important part of trading? It ain't winning. It's being disciplined. So the moment you make something competitive with trading, you are adding an extra layer of your psychology, taking you away from your job of sticking to the process. You will 100% see good traders on there who want to win, go against everything they believe in and oversize and over this and trade more and do this. And all that's going to do is when the cup's over, whether they win or lose, they're going to have to get back into good habits. All right. It's going to pull you in to bad habits. Fact. Say what you want. That's exactly what it's going to do. You want to win. The people that win these cups will be people that put an extortionate amount of size on and get lucky. I guarantee you the best traders do not win these cups. It is not like a Robbins Cup where you can only trade very, very small size and it's done over a very, very long period of time. It's not. So there you go. It's not my focus. And when I put it to the Discord, no one had any interest, probably for the same reason. Okay, still seeing absorption down here into previous day and current day value area low. There's still a buyer on the tape down here, trying to gobble everything up. We're still seeing pressure versus point of control. We're just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth as the range starts to tighten. ES, same thing. It's trying to base over its New York Open right now. Check the headlines here very quickly if there's anything else coming out. Sources close to negotiating team told the Iranian news agency Iran, as it has announced previously, does not intend to develop nuclear weapons and the claim is merely an excuse, deception on part of the Americans. I mean, I actually believe that. I don't think they've had any nukes for a while, but there we go. Despite some changes in the new document from the Americans, the substantive difference stemming from the Americans' greed and lack of realism remain. I mean, this doesn't sound positive, does it? I tell you what, I just want to have a look for a swing quickly because this has been on my radar. Let me just check. Yeah, we're going. Wonder if I got filled some. Let me just check. Sorry, folks, give me a second. Check my brokerage account. Did I get filled any? No. Well, that's annoying. See if I can pick some up. See if I can pick some SoFi up. Okay, so starting to lose the bid here. Again, SOXL, very, very key level. If they break low of day, SOXL, 150s is in play. And then Qs are probably going to really struggle. So you're starting to lose a bid here. You're starting to see it lose the bid. It's very, very, very sensitive area now. ES still holding that New York Open and above both its VWAP. So you're very, very differently positioned right now. So if you start to lose value area low and we start to see buyers get caught, we can think about it. But otherwise, I don't really want to trade the middle of no man's land when we're coming into sensitive areas. Doesn't seem like a great deal of edge doing that right now. And we're just both sides of the tape right now as we ping pong around. But I would say if we start to fail consistently at 240 and see sell pressure at 212s, and we start to see sell pressure under 180s, they'll come and clean up the lows. So I'll think about one more trade if it sets up. It's gonna need the chips to play ball. That was a good drive to 225s, which sold. Still seeing absorption on the tape here, sub 200. They just ping pong this around. There's still a buyer on the tape at 200. There you go, straight back up. ES still holding New York Open as well. The divergence is massive right now. It's like just another thing that makes me not want to trade right now. So drive up to 230. Didn't quite get to 240, but rejected 230. You can see just it is literally ping pong. Here comes the sell back down. I'll consider this if we start staying very, very heavy under 280. If buyers have now got caught and they are going to sell 280, I'll consider joining something. Here's 85s. It's a big imbalance down here. So that's why I'm waiting to see if we flush under and stay heavy. ES under its New York Open, coming to New York, VWAP. We'll see. If we pop and fail 180s, I will... Oh, God, it's going to be so hard with those sellers stuck underneath. I will consider it, though. Yeah, buyers trying to get in here. They're starting to get caught. There's a refresh bid just under 170. Here's the 180 pop. All right, tiny piece on. Fuck it. Versus VWAP. I'm willing to just eat a stop instantly. House money and all that. Stopped instantly. I'll get back in as well if they flush, but I want to be careful. They're grinding back up. They want to go 200 now. Very, very dangerous. If we go 200 and fail, I'll consider it. But we're holding value again. It's just going to be dip back up probably. It's going to be a rotation rather than continuation. I looked for continuation. Probably shouldn't have. Probably shouldn't have, but there we go. There's a 200 test. If they don't hold 180s, the same play is going to come in now. Here we go. 180 ping pong. Did SOXL break? Nope. SOXL still holding that dark pool print for now. Man, this is sensitive. 180s here again. The bids are at 70s. And remember, everyone was stuck from 60s and under. That's why I wanted to position a little bit earlier if they are going to do the continuation. Same play here. They can set up the same play here. Doesn't look good. Oh, SOXL's breaking. This is what I wanted. Do I have one more go at it now? This is exactly what I wanted. Oh, you mother cluckers. All right, let's see if there's a way of getting involved now. We're going to come and clean out lower day now. Oh, you fuckwits. You have to push it that tiny bit higher. Right, I'm going to watch same level, 80s. If we clean out lows, it's going to be so hard because we're going to come straight down to 280s. So there's the chips breaking down. There's ES under New York VWAP into PDC. I want to see a pop here. I'm going to watch 60s to 8 to 76s to see if we pop up. I think we'll clean out the lows. I just need a little pop up here. And it's coming into 60s. Can you come up to 80s? There's 60s. So push to 80s. ES finding a bid though. Need to see a little pop. There's 80s. I'm watching to see if the tape turns at 80s. Still not in. Something on now. Versus 80. Here we go. Come on, sellers. There's a bid come back in. Don't like that. Who are you? Soaking up at 60. Get out of the way. Here we go. Thank you. God, I thought I read that wrong for a minute. All right, let's see. This is good now. So I'd like to see new low of day, and then we'll look for 29,080 now. There's lots of bids starting to stack up here. They're trying to hold the low day. It's not going to work, I don't think. I think we'll see new lows here. Beautiful. Here we go. So it was worth waiting again for the 80s. You would have heard me say I need to pop up to 80s. So the first time I got it wrong, took the stop. Here comes a new lower day. There we go. So if you can TP some here if you want. I'm going to look for 29,080 ideally. Let's see if they let it go. Try and let this work. We want 60s to stay heavy now. Your opening range of where all these sellers have been selling. And I'm just trying to, you can see, I'm trying to let it work now to come down for 29,080. Previous day low is just above that, basically 90s. So I'm looking to see if we can get down there. If not, I'll stop out. It's fine. I think we should break down here. They've done a lot of work now, and ES starting to roll. We should come now. Let it go. Get out the way. This guy that keeps rebidding. Go away. Become a seller for me. Here we go. Come on, get through him. He's rebid again. He keeps refreshing these 30s. Get out the way, mates. Jeez, you've got some size. Serious size down there. Plunge protection down there, I think. Once he's gone, it's going to be mega pain. That pop just got sold again. He can't keep holding this, and momentum is going to struggle. If he keeps holding this and he gets dunked on, there's going to be a huge sell candle. At 30, that initial balance is your level. Once that breaks, we can think about even what that expansion would look like. Here we go. Get out the way, you fucker. Give us our TPs. Here we go. Here we go. Get out my fucking way, mate. Here we go. All right, looking to cover some under. I don't want to cover some 100. I really want 90s and 80s here. Here we go. All right, thank you. Paying myself some there. Oh, I tagged the wrong button there. Have I covered some? No. There we go. Okay. So I think I took 2 break-evens today, 2 nice winners. But tell me what to do. Mummy. Mummy. Mum. Mum, I want it on a plate. Mummy. Mummy, I'm really important, Mummy. Okay, really nice. Seeing buyers coming down here, and they're going to get clobbered because they are being too aggressive at the lows. It's not going to work out very well for them. There you go. Bye-bye. See ya. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Beautiful. All right. Runners now. Ideally, we can get down into these lows. And if we expand this, all right, we have a naked point of control still from previous week. I thought I'd had it marked out. Do I not? No. Okay, let's just add a naked POC on where we'd like to travel to this week. We'd like to get down here. So I must remember that for this week. Naked. There we go. All right, but you can pay yourself a ton here, and then we'll just see how far we break now, folks. This is the move we wanted. It's what we were trying to get this morning as well, right? So, and look at SOXL into 150s. We expect a potential bid here on SOXL. All right, just remember that we're into a put wall. SOXL 150s about to tag. Pay yourself a chunk of this, because if they cover 150s hard here, NQ's going to rip back up for a little squeeze back up. So just make sure you paid yourself a good chunk, all right, just in case they bid 150s on the chips. We're trading 150s 28s right now. So they've just front run it a little bit. You can see there is a wiggle here at these 150s if you're following the chip names. Here's the start of a bid away from that 150. So I think they'll pop this up and then probably resell it. So I'm just making you aware. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you. All right, you should have paid yourself around here. Here's the 150 tag. We're literally on 150 right now. It's decision time for the chips. All right, so I would have paid myself a good chunk if I'm you. A good chunk of change. Big put wall down here. If we get lower, it'd be great. Here we go. So runners only now. Really good. Aggressive, breaking the 900s. Here we go. Here we fucking go. All right, baby. Let's get overnight lows. Let's get overnight lows now. We're still trading 150s on the SOXL, by the way. We've broken it a tiny bit. Here we go. Really good. There's the break. Now, they want to stay heavy versus 150 now. We're coming back for it now. We want to see them resell 150s, which for us is basically 29,000. And I'd move your stop down, and I would not let this come back above 29,025. That's where my stop is, because we're going to come and test it. Here we go. There's the 150 bid. So here's the shake and bake on the options chain for those chips. In fact, I better be paying myself some on my short on the swing while I remember. So let's pay ourselves a little bit on that. If I can find it. Aha. Yes. Yes, a very nice short swing here. Thank you. I'll pay myself some of that. I wonder if my old man got in when I told him to. I wonder if my old man got in when I told him to. Hopefully he did. I love how trading 2-on-2 is like nice start, mate. 11% on a day, nice start. Get out of here. It's better than a nice start. That's what you should be aiming for a year. Beautiful. All right, there's the bid. Guess what we bid off? Why do we listen to Alex? Try and help you. Guess what we just bid off? There's your put wall. 150. All right, there's the bid. All right, we expect that bid. We expect that bid. That's why we expect that bid. All right, we've done the damage. We would have liked 180s push and fail today. We didn't get it. We got a fail to break 75s. There's the New York Open. There's the flush. Boom. Right, and then we're in channel down, and there's the cover point. All right, and they can come back up to here if they really want. Maybe they drift lower today. It would be amazing if they did, but I'd say the easy money probably been taken for the day again. And if we reject previous week value area low, it'd be a good sign of moving lower, but otherwise, again, great moves today already locked in. Big W, thanks Alex, you're welcome. After a series of ever trading, I'm green today, time to stop. Nice man, good work. Missed it for a coffee. I listened because I fucking love you, mate. He's the GOAT. Oh, thanks guys, appreciate it. I'm trading 0 DTE options. I just won 100% my put. Lovely work, mate. Nice work, nice work. I stopped to check in. Are you out? I'll be back tomorrow. I mean, I'm done for now. It doesn't mean I'm done trading for the day. I'm done with that trade. All right, took me 2 attempts, just like earlier. All right, just like earlier. I think I might have had a small loss or a break even. I can't remember where it was. Was it 270 break? I can't remember. We got this one earlier, and then I had a couple attempts at this because they were wiggling on the tape for this move, and then we got it. Was it here? Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here, and then we got it, right? So you want to watch these 29,080s here, right? Because we're thin. All right, as we get into here, we're very thin above. All right, so they need to defend this sellers. Previous day low, previous week value area low. They need to defend this if they're going to look for breakdowns. But what I would say now, underneath us, we've had a good auction. Doesn't mean we can't move lower, but sellers now, if we move this in a bit and pinch it up, there we go. Sellers got very aggressive here at 50s. They got very aggressive at 25s. Woof. Very aggressive at 29,000 and very aggressive at 28,976s. All right, so you'd need to move underneath all these players, right, for them to be comfortable. At the moment, we're not seeing that. We're seeing imbalances start to be filled. So it doesn't mean we can't, but the first thing is good. You've rejected this. So if you are looking for a new short or whatever, you've rejected this. What you need now is to get underneath these sellers who are currently a little bit stuck. Yeah, nice, man. Nice, Kyo. Good work. Good work, good work. If I ever get tired of trading, do stand-up comedy. Well, I'd probably get cancelled quicker than I'd be able to do comedy, to be honest. This moody Englishman just taking the piss out of. Everyone gets so offended. And it's like, you want to come into chat and talk shit? Like Jamie Vardy said, chat shit, get banged, mate. If you don't know who he is, there's a new doc. You can watch it. It's quite good, actually. Quite enjoyed it. So look at that bid off the 150. Now, $2.50 higher. Right, testing its IB. Testing its IB. Is it possible to show your live trades? Sometimes I do not follow your entries. No, I tell you what I'm doing. I can't teach you on TradingView and execute on NinjaTrader. I give you the levels. I tell you exactly what I'm doing. I tell you exactly where I'm covering. I'm not a signal bot. You should be here to learn. Even though I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing, I am not going to signal bot for you. I'm sorry. Get out of here. Go and follow someone else if you want a signal bot. All right? You will not make money signal botting long term. I'm actually giving you the levels and telling you why. So just keep turning up and keep listening. Don't know what to say. Like, I make it so bloody easy, I swear. Like, I don't make it hard. All right, Trump on Truth Social. If Iran surrenders, admits their navy is gone and resting at the bottom of the sea, and their air forces is no longer with us, and their entire military walks out of Tehran, weapons dropped in hands and held high, each shouting, I surrender, while wildly waving the representative white flag, and their entire remaining leadership signs all necessary document of surrender and admit their defeat to the great power and force of the magnificent USA. I mean, this guy's ego is wild. The failing New York Times and the China Street Journal, corrupt and now irrelevant CNN, and all other members of the fake news will headline that Iran has had a masterful and brilliant victory. I think he's missed some stuff over the United States of America. It wasn't even close. The Democrats and the media have totally lost their way. They've absolutely gone crazy. I mean, that post doesn't actually make sense. I'm just saying. I think he's missed some sentences out, which probably would say, then we will stop. They are not going to do everything he's just asked for there. No one's going to do that. No one is going to do what he's saying there. That's just ridiculous. They're not going to do it. So I guess we're at war. That was a weird tweet. It's the first time I've seen him miss a sentence out. I'm sure he said, if they do this, and this. I don't understand the point in that tweet. Is it? Or he's just having a good. I get it. He's just having a go at the fake news. So he's saying, like, I get what he's saying. He's saying even if Iran do all those things, the US news will still say that Iran has won. That's what he's saying. Okay, I understand. I was like, what? That's just a pop at the news. I mean, the news is shite. I don't disagree with him. I don't think people really pay attention to it in the same way now. Okay, so rejection of IBL there on SOXL. Rejection of IBL there for the in Q. Let me just remind ourselves where the measured move is. We already hit the measured move. We're done for now. We've hit the measured move. The next thing would be 100% move, but easy money's been taken. This is now an RBS zone, or sorry, an SBR zone. Like support became resistance. That's where we shorted because I said once this guy gets out of the way, he's absorbed so much, he'll become a seller. That's our first test of it. So I guess you could argue there's a short there, but at the moment, like I said, you'd have to be very careful. I'd say 2960, 2950, 2925, 29,000, 28,075. Those levels have been absorbed so far. So if you're playing the IB short, just know you've hit your extensions and you're not seeing sell follow through lower yet. Doesn't mean it doesn't continue to follow through, but at the moment you want to be careful because we've had very aggressive sellers down here and we've moved higher. So this really depends how things shake out now. But when we're doing an IB, a 1.5, 1.61 is a good area to attack. We could argue that we're coming down here for Globex, but I think the easy money's gone. I think the easy money's gone, folks. I think you see liquidity be built out again now while they go into a social media war. We'll just have to see how this all pans out. Like I said, we haven't seen it. We haven't seen these kind of social media posts from DJT for a couple weeks. Everyone, I guess, was distracted by China and what was going on there. Oh, you got to be joking. The Persian Gulf Strait Authority has now just opened its own Twitter account. Well, I will be following that then. We'll have to see what it says. That is known as PGSA_Iran, in case you're interested. Put notifications on that as well. Now, Justin, reportedly, Iran seeking long truce and gradual reopen. I mean, this is what I mean. Make your mind up. Make your mind up. Where's CL today? Basing over 102s. This can break down, but I'm out of it. I'm done with it. There was a lot of selling down here which got absorbed, so you're retesting 150 now on SOXL. All right, so you can use this as an over-under, I guess. We just rejected IB. So the same kind of play. Rejected IB. This is the level, all right? Do they trap or are you going to see follow through? That's going to dictate a lot. Remember, why has the market been on a runaway tear? It's all because of that, right? It's all because of that. Back down to these 29,000s again. So sellers at 25s are now comfortable. Sellers at 51s are comfortable. Sellers at 60s are comfortable. The 300 lot at 29,000 is uncomfortable right now. And what do we have at the lows? The 100 lot at the low of day is also uncomfortable. So you got 400 lot delta currently uncomfortable until you break under 29,000. New low of day, SOXL. See if they stay heavy or not. Battle. It is a battle on the tape. Flush or not is the question. New low day, SOXL. NQ, no follow through yet under than 29,000. Remember, 29,000, you have some big short sellers currently stuck. You need to move under that. So there's a 300 lot stuck at 29,000. You start getting heavy under that, we can talk about more. Absorbed again there, look. That move into 29,000. So we can, this guy here stuck. We just absorbed again there, or he just got out break even. So if I take you to Bookmap right now. We zoom out. Right, it's this player here who's caught. You see this guy here? Maybe I've got to move it along. This guy here, 355 lot, and the low of day auction 286 lot. So if we think about these players, currently they're stuck, right? If they get let out, price will move into this box or under this box. See how we keep selling into it and finding a pop, into it and finding a pop. It's because these guys, Mr. 346 lot and Mr. 242 lot, are currently underwater. So if, imagine you short sold there, chased the market, right, and we moved away from you, you're in pain, you're in pain, you're in pain, it's coming back, you're probably starting to get out break even. Now we break below this and stay heavy versus it, then we can think about these guys down here getting filled, but we're not seeing that yet. Look, we're protecting it. This is why I said I'm done with it for now. Okay, I'm done with it for now. It's a good rejection up here at the 25s, basically the IB. But I think we just build some liquidity out. That's why I said I'm done with it for now. I'm just going to wait for a bit. Do I use market order to open my positions? I try not to, but sometimes I'm forced to. But the problem with market order is you will get slipped in a fast moving market. But if I know I'm right and we're breaking away from a level and I've missed an entry, or I feel like, you know, as long as it's, I'm not going to mark it after we've moved 150 to 100 points. But if we've broken and I didn't get filled by 5-10 points, I don't mind marketing in. If my thesis is right, I'll get back in. Alex, what does it mean when they're trapped? Okay, so let's go over this again. Imagine this is you, all right? And you shorted 524 lots with an average price of 28,987. Right, you got the worst location of the day, but you chased. For some reason, you chased down here in this box. All right, and we move away from you. You're trapped, aren't you? Because you're now underwater. You're red on the trade. Remember, you got short down here. You're red on the trade. Okay, and then it holds a higher low above your price. If that was me, I'd start sweating. What does that mean? I'm probably going to start taking my position off, which means what? As a short seller, you're buying the market back. Market moves up. Okay, and then you're getting more and more sweaty, and maybe then you try and add some size on to get the market to move back down, which is what we do here. We come to IB, we come to this player, right? And we move back down. Did we move under these giant players down here? Let's just think about it as one person. This yellow box, let's just call it 600 lots, short selling at the lows. Did we move under it? No. What did we do? We came right back to it. They tried to sell it, and we bid away. So who's stuck? This guy, right? This short seller sold the worst location of the day and got stuck. Where did we sell? We sold in here, right? And we covered in there because we're not an idiot, right? And we also, I don't know where else we sold earlier in today, much higher. 300 break, wasn't it? Somewhere up here. And we also sold this where these buyers tried to force a squeeze. And you can see this is like the transition. If we think about structure, can't do pathing on this, can I? Let's just do a giant. Right? If we think about structure, buyers caught the highs, sellers caught the lows, we finally break below. If these sellers had been caught, it means a passive buyer had been absorbing the tape there, which is what I identified. Once he became a seller, then what? Ooh, flush down, right? No, he hasn't got endless money. He absorbed the tape from 9:45 to 10:30. He spent 45 minutes trying to hold the book up here. This is where it gets thin on the edge, right? So once we break under that 150, ooh, flush away. Now we're just going to traverse between these and build out. Look, this is going to be like a 2-leg high time frame. And that 150 is going to become an important level now because that's where they sold aggressively. Now, if we think about that in terms of structure, right, what is that level? It's right here, isn't it? It's where Mr. Dip Buyer was, Mr. Dip Buyer was, Mr. Dip Buyer tried again. He became liquidated. It's the edge of value. It's a grey box, all right? This is our over-under now, which is also IB. This whole area is a big over-under. So if we reject that, we probably come back down again. If we reclaim that, then Mr. Dip Buyer's back in the money. All right, and we go back up and we leave Mr. Silly Short Seller very unhappy on the day because he sold the worst location of the day, right? So this is normally a good auction. When you see sellers stuck at lows, good chance we move away from it. When you see buyers stuck at highs, good chance we move away from it. That's what it means to say seller is stuck or someone is stuck and underwater. It's when their position is not green on the trade. right? They're not green on the trade. They're red on the trade, but they're red on the trade with size. That's what matters. We're not looking for a small player. We're looking for outlier, big players in the market. Alex, the best thing you showed me is SOXL, and if it breaks, I'm in. Thanks for keeping us out of trouble. Yeah, I mean, look, that's not always. You have to understand, we're only looking at that right now because it's the current market environment. That's not always the market environment, but because we're in AI mania, all right, if we think about, if we zoom out to a weekly, right, this is the biggest rally of all time in terms of how quickly it's happened, right? This is huge, right? And this is all driven by AI, all right, AI or quantum. So if we go and look, for example, at the MAG, right, they're not breaking out like that, right? They're not breaking like that, but what is breaking out like that are the semis, right? And the easiest way to see the semis would be in an ETF with all this semis in. Now, the one I like to look at is SOXL. There's other ones you can look at, right? So when we start to see, look, the semis on a tear, there's the breakout, right? When we start to see weakness in the semis, then we know the move's over. Why? Because 80% of the market right now is not moving up, making new all-time highs. Let that sink in for a minute. 80% of the stock market is not moving higher and is not making all-time highs, which means only 20% of the market is. Guess what that 20% of the market is? All right, it's the semiconductors or AI-related space. So if there's no bid on 80% of the market, and the 20% of the market, which has gone completely berserk and kept the stock market up, starts to sell, what happens, do you think? Well, we've got no market breadth. Down we go. Do we have much structure to look at as we go down? Oh no, I've just changed. That's going to be a problem. Let me get back to 1 minute there. Sorry, I just changed it on the wrong one. Do we have much structure? No, not really, do we? Right, where's the good structure? Well, I'd argue it's here. Great structure down here. Hello. Great structure here. Right, and maybe we could argue like there's some structure here, and if we lose that, maybe in here, right? But we're starting to build rotation. If the chips get a big sell, we can think about down here, and then we can think about, do we find breadth on the market? Yeah, okay, we bid back up. Great, fantastic. Fantastic, that makes sense to me. It's not always like that. I just want to make sure you understand that, all right? Because, you know, if we go back into a market run by the Mag 7, then our focus will be on the Mag 7, right? Because those are the biggest names. So if the breadth comes back and we start to see like the Mag starting to churn higher, then we start to focus that. If we're watching the S&P and we see like the banks start to churn higher, then we'll start focusing on the banks or energy or whatever. Sector rotation, right? Sector rotation. Someone's always got to make money. So the big banks, they've been making all their money in chips. They got a bit overextended. So, okay, maybe they take some profit in chips and maybe they put it into another sector. So we can think about what sector they've probably rotated in. Well, probably, I would imagine, it was energy and healthcare, and it will probably still be energy and healthcare because those have relative weakness. So we can have a quick look together. Give me a second. Okay, and we come over here, get out of it. All right, have a look. What's weak today? Tech, here are your chips. What's strong today? Well, defensives, really strong. Healthcare, pretty good. Other than Eli and Lilly, financials, energy, there you go. There's the rotation. Out of chips, into these, which have been having relative weakness. They pump these back up for a bit. Once these go a little bit crazy for a bit, they take some profits out of these. They go back into tech, right? That's how you need to think about it. Think about like a big pie chart with all the different factors in. One goes too parabolic. Make money, make money, make money. Retail climbs in, jumps in at the top. Institutions go, thank you very much for your liquidity. I'll sell into you. I needed to buy the other side of the tape. What can we buy for cheap and push back up? Okay, healthcare and financials. Anyone who's traded with me in Discord knows we're long in those names. Okay, Those lift up a bit. They make a bit of money on that. Okay, we take some profit in that. What's good now? Okay, maybe we go back into software. Maybe we go back into hardware. All right. There's always someone making money. Understand the baskets. Understand what basket is in each index that you're trading. Not all these baskets are in the NQ. Some of these baskets are only in the RTY, are only in the YM, are only in the ES. What a question. Hi there. I'm new to the stock market. Do you think the upcoming Nvidia report earnings, we could see a bullish market? Yes, I think you should go all in long on Nvidia and just close your eye. No, like, I don't know, mate. Like I just said, Nvidia actually is trading at a very reasonable forward PE ratio. I don't know what the earnings are going to say. It doesn't actually matter what the earnings are going to say. What matters is what the expectation is of those earnings, because with Nvidia, we normally have incredibly high expectations. So do they hit those or beat those? If they do, normally what happens, we see a huge drive out that night, and then we give it all back the next day and the following days. I don't know, mate. I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. If I had a crystal ball, I'd be a billionaire. I don't know, my friend. I wish I knew, but I don't. Okay, there's the move we just talked about. Where is the buyer stuck? We just talked about what's the RBS level. All right, there's your IB. Oh, there we are. Yes, please. Legend. There's your RBS level. They just rejected the RBS level. Why? Because the dip buyer in here is still stuck. All right, there's the edge of value. There's your low volume node. There's the resistance. All right, so sellers are still defending that, but we know sellers are currently caught down here. So we have to see if there's follow through as they build out. All right, no personal questions here, guys. Come on, come on, come on. I'm not going to give my life story away to you. I'm only playing with you, Virtual. I'm only playing with you. I'm just saying, none of us know, my friend. That's all I'm saying. We don't know. All right, when it comes to earnings, they are a gamble. We don't know if earnings are going to be good. And even if they are good, we don't know if they're good enough that it's not already priced in. Remember, if it's in the news, it's already in the price. So with earnings, we normally price in ahead of time. For example, we have priced in this market. My belief is we've priced in that the war is done and we're going to do a deal, right? We've already priced it in. So I would say if we do a deal, market probably doesn't care. If we don't do a deal, market probably cares a lot. I would also say we've probably priced in quite a lot of rate cuts, probably 2 rate cuts this year. Well, with what I showed you this morning, with the breakouts and interest rates looking like they're going to climb higher again, we're probably not going to see any rate cuts. Even though Fed Chair Powell has been replaced now, I think it's putting the new chair in a very hard position to put rate cuts in. So if we don't see rate cuts, if we see the next FOMC and they're very hawkish, not dovish and concerned, we've probably priced in something that isn't going to happen. That's when we get the moves, right? The unexpected moves come in when we've priced the wrong way. So I can't tell you with Nvidia. In all likelihood, they are likely to be blowout earnings, right? They're likely to be complete blowout earnings, and their guidance is probably going to be absolutely astronomical, all right? But I don't know if we price that in, and I don't know how the market responds. Yeah, XOSL flying, right. Why is it flying? What was the put wall? What's it reclaimed? Where's it at? Yeah, it's reclaimed 150. It's reclaimed initial balance. It's trying to move higher. So we now have divergence the other way, where SXL is trying to go upside and ES is seeing downside pressure in the market. Nothing's changed in terms of where we are. Okay, so there was a buyer absorbing the tape here all morning. Oh my God, I've got to move this back. All right. They tried to sell into him. We recovered. Tried to sell into him. Recovered. Came back. This time, he exited. Boom. That's the trade we took. We now know that in here and in here, there has been very aggressive selling, right? We can see it on the tape. We can see all these gigantic orders, very aggressive selling, and we can see it in the delta profile on the right. All right, we can see them on the tape. Are we moving lower? Look at all this aggressive selling here at the lows. Oh, I can't show you that, can I? Well, if you look at the delta, each candle's very heavy delta. Okay, I can't show you the bottom. Are we moving lower? No. Are we recovering where the buyer's now caught? No. So we're ping-ponging between the two. And we have divergence now. The easy money's gone because those sellers are at the lows now. We often dip after earnings on for Nvidia. Yeah, we normally, if you look historically, we rip on earnings and then we give it all back and some. You know, can you make these bubbles on Tradeify? I believe so, but the indicator I just showed you will hopefully be available this week. Certainly to Discord members, we will get it, well, as long as all things go well. It's been approved by Ninja. We just need to get it up and in the system. But I'll try and get it to members this week for a discounted rate. All right, there is a seller on the tape, 400 lot, sat just in front of 150 right now. So if SXL holds initial balance low now, all right, if they hold a bid in front of 150, let's just call it 150, 250. If they hold a bid there, then they probably can try and go for a bit of a mean reversion trade upside. If they can't hold that bid, then it's a look inside initial balance and failure. I tell you what, ES looks weak. How much would be for non-members? I don't know yet, mate. It will probably be probably just do a lifetime fee and a subscription. We'll figure it out. It will be competitive. It will be cheaper than alternative products and better than alternative products. Like, we always try and keep it competitive. It won't be anything astronomical. That goes against what I believe in. I strongly believe I could charge a lot more for what I do than I do, and I don't. Because why? Because I used to be you. And what I mean by that, I paid thousands for really shit courses. I don't want to do that. I want to try and keep it as reasonable for you and reasonable for me. How'd you put your anchored profile and where'd you set it? Set it to the 930, my friend. I use ticks because I have tick data. Otherwise, you can use 1,000 rows. 930 anchored volume profile. You will find it in the tools, right? It's the most common question here. You'll find it right here in the projection tools, anchored volume profile. All right, and then I have it set to 2 ticks per row, but I pay for tick data. If you don't pay for tick data, do numbers of rows and do it for 1,000. Everything else stays the same. Honestly, once I have some extra cash, this would be the only course I purchase. Yeah, well, no rush, my friend. No rush. Alex, don't know you for long, but you're a legend. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Your thoughts on TradingView footprint? It's good, man. It's good. Like, if you don't have an alternative, I think it's good. I don't think it's the best out there, but I think it's good. It's right here. Right? So this is what we're talking about. Look, you can use it. What have we seen at low of day? Like this is not quite the same, right? So this is where some of the divergences start versus like the other things. This is all selling down here. But you can see this, you can see this, you can see price unwilling to move lower on. Can you see enough of this? If I move this up, hopefully you can see that. I'm just waiting. There you go. So you can see this delta absorbed. We come back for it again. This delta down here again, same level, absorbed. They don't let the sellers out. And if we think about where we broke down from, it's very clear, isn't it? Right. Do I think it's as good as TradingView, Ninja Trader or alternatives? No. Do I think it's good? Yeah, it's still going to show you, still going to paint the picture for you. Right, it's still going to show you the imbalances. It can still paint the picture. I reckon if you lose it, a slightly higher time frame would be a bit better. Let me just check this 35s. I don't reckon there was that much buying down there. See, that's when I don't understand it. All right, so 76s and under is all sell side. 70. See, that's wrong. For me, that's incorrect. So that's where maybe there's a little bit of guesswork done. but it's still pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's as good, but it's pretty good. All right, breaking down again here after rejecting initial balance, but we're just into that same level where those sellers have got caught, but this is the third attempt to break lower, so it's probably more likely to happen this attempt. ES coming down for low of day. SOXL still holding the 150s. Where's this thing gone? Have I ever used ATAS? No, I don't use it, mate. I use Ninja. I will not move it. We talk about this quite a lot. I get asked, I promise you, I get asked every single day by ATAS and everyone else, can you do videos on this? And can you do this for me? And can you do... No, is the answer. I'm an old man. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm an old dog, not willing to learn new tricks. So that be that. Look at that print up. Absolutely amazing in front of 29,000. Again, that seller down there still stuck. They're still churning. This feels a bit more newsy here, but kind of cleared out a little bit until we got up to the 75s. What's going on here? They just caught them. Yeah, 150s held again, or in front of 150s, 152s on the SOXL. This looks churny at this point. I'll tell you now, there's a lot of the sellers at those lows not getting their way right now. A lot. Doesn't matter, doesn't mean they don't all day, but there is a lot who are not getting their way at those lows right now. Good hold. ES failed to break the low as well. I just don't think you can be bearish on this at this point. I think it's way too risky. Even if it breaks down, you need it to just break away and get all these sellers out. Otherwise, I think it's going to cause problems. I really think you're going to see problems for these sellers down here. They've got so aggressive. And it's not breaking away. And that's the only thing you need to know. It is not breaking down. The seller right now is up at 40s, 400 up at 40s. Which indicator do you use for footprint on Tradeify? I don't use it, mate, so I couldn't tell you, but I know there is stuff. Someone in chat answer, please, because I don't use it, but I know there is stuff you can use. So ES coming back for its IB, checking its IB out here. SOXL trading back inside. Remember, for me, we've hit all the easy low-hanging fruits of the day. Doesn't mean we can't trade lower, but we are creating a huge amount of liquidity down here. You can see it. Just ping-ponging around while they make their decisions. Well, I'll give you the levels that the sellers are still caught at. 60, 55, 50, 25, 10s, 29,000, and certainly at the lower day. You're not seeing this travel lower right now. And that's all I need to know to say I don't really want to sell it. Even if they come and drop it, the edge has gone. There are sellers stuck currently in this price action that we've had from 10:30. In the last 40 minutes, we have sellers stuck. Slowed right down here. All right, while this figures it out, how many likes are we doing? I would like to do a giveaway again today on stream. How are we doing for likes here, folks? Awful. All right, let's get this up to at least 1,000 likes. There's a 1,400 of you not hit it right now. Let's get it up to 1,000 likes. We'll do an Apex giveaway. At 1,200 likes, we'll give away something else. I'm going to use the bathroom while you guys hit that like button, and then we'll get right back and we'll try again. The ping pong show continues. It's funny because ES looks to me like it's more interested in making a low here than NQ. Sell is still up at 37s. Here comes the sell pressure. Let me just zoom this in a minute. Yeah, they're going to need to find acceptance under 29,000, and then this thing maybe can accelerate a bit. But until that point, I don't think there's anything here. And that's that 25, that guy that we talked about. This guy here is still stuck, and so are these two. All right, these guys are stuck right now. 25, basically 10s and 29,000. If they get unstuck, then they get a shot at something else. Like I said, ES looks like it's more interested in making a low than NQ at the moment. Dangerous spot for sure. It's a dangerous spot altogether right now. I absolutely agree. That's why we're not doing anything at the moment. The easy money has gone. It's been taken. All right, we need 50 more likes. I made a decision to move or not? No, not yet. I mean, not off one trip. I enjoyed it a lot. It's definitely on the table. It's definitely on the table, which was the whole point in going. Make sure I enjoyed it. But there's a lot of moving parts to something like that. Still saying pops be sold up here, but like we're not seeing follow through. Those sellers are still stuck underneath. ES looks like it wants a new low of day. NQ doesn't at the moment, and you got to think like this divergence can play out real nasty here. We'll see. Here's the move to 25s again. This is where that seller keeps being stuck. Look, ES looks like it's going to make new lower day here and start tanking. SOXL just held its IB. Here's 25s again. They've let this guy at 25s out, so we'd test 10s and 900 now, maybe? It's an interesting one, that's for sure. So coming to the 10s probably from 25s. If they let go of 25s, we should go to 10s and test that player at 10s. And then under 10s, 29,000. And that's where it gets a bit more interesting, because then they'll all be... Here we go down towards the 10s, 12s, here's your 10s, and then the 29,000s. And it's perking my interest now of what happens. So 29,000s still being bid under for now. And if they lose that on a retest, they will start washing very heavy here, I think. They are bidding down here. Let me see if there's any big players below 900s, which is where we wanted to get to this morning. We'll see. We'll see. Time here. We've got time. We've got time. So divergence, ES new low of day, NQ not. This is the 29,000. This is the level. For me, this is the level. They're still bidding off it. So they'll come back check now 25s, and if they get through 25s, they'll come back check 50s very quickly. So 25 still being sold for now. It's tempting. It's tempting. It's very risky here to play momentum downside though. SOXL back under IB. That 150 is still massive though. I'm almost more interested if we let go of 150 here for follow through. It feels very dangerous to short at low of day where shorts are still stuck. There we go. So I'm glad I'm not taking this at the moment. This is getting very nasty back and forth here. I think there's a lack of edge here. Back to this 29,000 again. $29,000 again. Here comes an attempt of a wash. There's still a passive bid here down to 75 at the moment. I tell you what, if these sellers win, this can get real nasty. Is there a way of getting involved? There's still a passive bid here. Still a passive bid. We'll see. 29,000 reclaim. If SOXL rejects IB and we reject 25 or 50, maybe is a shout, but it just seems very risky here. Very, very risky to think about doing anything. And the psych level of ES 400 as well, still being absorbed. Do I stream Asia? No, I'm asleep, mate, during an Asia. So 25 test. They sold 25s, back to 29,000. You can see the same rotations we did earlier in the day. It's the same lot numbers. I'll tell you what, it's tempting. It's trying to tempt me in. I'm not going to do it. It is trying to tempt me in here for that 25 and failure. The thing is, you get that wrong and this thing gets nasty. I think they're trying to get down here at the moment. There's too many sellers stuck to make me want to pull the trigger, but it feels like that's what they're trying to do. What's the time here? There is time for it. It's tempting, folks. I think we're coming for this. It's tempting. It's just how do we get there and how do we get a safe entry if we're going to do it? I'd feel much more comfortable if I see chips sell under 150. Here they come, under 29,000 again. This is the battle here. That seller's moved down a little bit, the 400 lot to 37s or 40s. What's SPY into here? SPY's got a bit more to go as well. 735 is the cover point for SPY right now if they go into that put wall. Still not in anything. I'm just, look, there's big lots up here. 500 lot and a 400 lot added. Sell side. Where are they trying to attract price to? Let's have a little look. Where are you, mate? 30 and 40. Big orders at 30 and 40. Let's see if they're legit, if they lift up. Still seeing absorption down here. 30 and 40 needs to be tapped into first. I just got a feeling there's a really nasty candle about to come here. I think there's a really nasty candle. It's just how it's setting up here. I don't think there's going to be an entry, but I think there's a really nasty candle about to come here. Watching this guy at 13.40. 500 lot at 30, 400 lot at 40. Flat, waiting. I don't think it's going to give any meaningful entry, honestly. I don't think there's a way of trading this effectively. You would have to be entering where sellers are stuck looking for momentum downside. I mean, it's just not what I want to do. And it's current value area low for the current week since Sunday as well. So this is where they're willing to hold. I think we're coming for this. I think we're going to wash this and come for this. I just don't think we're going to get an entry to get down there. I think it's too dangerous to be looking for this continuation down here. Remember, our easy entries today were up here and here. I don't really want to be short at the low of days where players are stuck. So trying to ignore it, even though I think it will end up working out. Even though I think there's a good chance it works out. It's my buddy in Austin who really wants me to move just sent me that. He's like, you should be starting your day like this. Funny. All right. Did they fill these guys or did they pull? I missed that. I think they pulled, didn't they? 100 lot pulled. Yeah, they pulled their orders. How big are you? 97. Yeah, they pulled their orders. What about all the calls that are stuck? Calls? What do you mean? Where you took the short was a big 1 hour SNR. Why are you trading inside the box? Which one? Up here? Yeah. Because we started to break down. This was the top of the box. Like we said, they were trying to hold this all morning. The first trade was here to here, right? And then they did this ping pong. What's this? Build out of liquidity. What do we see in here? Buyer, buyer. What happens when this buyer gets liquidated? Big sell. So what did we short? His pain. There you go. That's why. So the first trade was short from the break of this to this. I ignored this. I think we had 2 goes at this down here, and then it came. All right, because he had built out sufficient liquidity. It's a bit like what we're seeing now, except sellers have been very aggressive again for the second time today. But like, if we think about the same thing now, if I'm telling you that sellers are getting very aggressive down here and not getting their way, what does that mean? It means there's a passive buyer, right, on the tape. There's a big whale right here. Now, if that whale decides to liquidate his position, what does that mean? There's no more bid and you get a liquidation. Right, and we go to probably Globex and this, which is where I think they want to go. I think they're trying to get down there. I'm not the whale though, so I have to wait and see him leave, which is what we saw here. We saw a whale. You would have heard me say someone's passively absorbing everything. Once he gets liquidated, there he goes. That's why it's so quick, because it's one player. Hold, 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 break. Okay, I'm done. Boom. Very, very nice. Very, very quick. Kind of the same here. Look, boxed in. Boxed in. You see? Boxed in. Right? We can do this for ages and ages and ages, but if this guy leaves, that happens. Waiting for the Reaper, bruv. The Reaper. Back to the 29,000 again. I'm telling you, I think this wants to break down. I just think they're going to make it very hard to trade it. Another rejection on SOXL in, at sort of IB and 5-minute flow zones. It's not letting go of the 150 yet, though. And I think that, for me, will be very telling. So 29,000's here again. They're starting to stay heavy at 29,000's here, and they're going to look for low of day. I think they're going to look for a low day and a break. I just don't think this is what I was saying. I think it's going to come. Just don't think there's a great way of trading it, but I think you're going to see a nasty puke out. Here you go. Could feel it in the tape, just like positioning for it was very, very hard. All right, they're strong selling these lows. Here you go. I told you there's a nasty candle coming. You can feel it in the tape. Is there a way of trading this now? Well, if we stay heavy versus 76s, maybe, but you can see what I'm talking about. Look, it's the same thing, right? That this is the same as this. This is this buyer letting go. Now, if they back test him and he doesn't reclaim, this happens, which is where I think we want to go. Just because I can see it doesn't mean there's an easy trade there. That's another good example for you. I can see it, I can feel it, I know it's coming. Doesn't mean it's like really tradable. And that was a good rejection of 76s. So if you are in this short, it makes sense now. I'll see if we can join in a bit here. Oh, I've just moved my lines accidentally on Ninja. So into Globex will be 27s. Under Globex, your put wall is 61s, right? So this is the grey box that you want to cover in. And then your runners down to this naked POC. So they popped up. If you think about what we've just seen, there's your box. There's your sell. There's the pot to sell. Right? If they stay heavy versus this, you're looking for this and this, right? If they reclaim this, you're done with it. You do not hold on if they reclaim it, if you're looking for to sell momentum here. So you do not want this above 76s. You certainly don't want it above 29,000. All right, you certainly don't want it above 29,000. But yes, new low of day trying to pop up. By the way, SPY very close to its put wall, 735 that we talked about. And guess where we're at on the SOXL? You guessed it, 150, right? So under there, we will see more weakness. Okay, so that here into these sort of 70s that we just talked about. If they break this, they're going to visit 29,000. If they reclaim 29,000, you want to be done with anything short side. I'm not in this right now. And like I said, I could feel it coming, but it didn't feel like a tradable moment to me. And again, a bid off 150 so far on the SOXL. Is the red shadow his custom indicator? Yeah, if you're talking about the wave, it's my flow zones, mate. All right, most stuff on the chart is. Okay, so you probably lift up to 29,000 now, and that would be a big decision point. I will remind you, chips held 150 put wall, and spiders held 735 put wall. All right, so here's 29,000. If they don't sell this, you do not want to hold on to this. If they don't sell against this, you do not want to hold short if they do not sell against this. Based on what we're seeing, we can go right back into range and come straight back up another 60, 70 points very, very quickly. So it's now or never for these sellers to defend. If they can't defend it, then it's a problem. Again, I'm not in it. I don't think it's particularly tradable here. I can see it. I don't love it. I don't love the RR. Wondering where I get the GEX levels from? It's from a company called Tanuki. Right, you have to pay for a subscription for them. But like I say, that's just who I use. There's plenty of others. You can use like Cheddar Flow, Unusual Whales, Tide. There's a good rejection of 29,000 there. You want to see them stay heavy here if you're short. Otherwise, you do not want to be in it. And I'll tell you what, there's more strong selling came in at 75s, 70s, and 67s, and they are currently underwater. So these same guys down here. Oh, Alex, this is what I did a minute ago. These guys here are stuck, right? Here's your 29,000 check and you're in balance. If you get through this, there's an argument that they lift it straight back up into here. This is why I'm saying this must be defended. This 300 lot player from earlier must be defended at 29,000. Otherwise, you're going to see potentially a rip back higher. Right, so it's up to you. If you want to play momentum, that's on you. I'm not playing it right now. I think this is the level they have to defend, this 29,000. Potential look below and fail. I mean, of what? Of value? I mean, you'd have to come back inside previous week for a look below and fail. If you're talking about previous week value. You're talking about this. This is current week developing. We're still developing it. I think these are low-hanging fruits down here. I'm somewhat surprised they haven't cleaned them out. But again, what is driving the market? What do we have to be aware of? Where do we just bounce? That should look below and fail. This is still holding, right? This is your transition. If they get above this, this can start happening again. So this is the level that I'm watching. Below this, I think NQ's in big, big, big trouble because P2 is actually down here. So this is kind of, for me, dictating the market a bit more than anything else right now. Back above 29,000, they probably lift up to 65s now. This is what I'm saying. Like, for me, can see it, don't want to trade it. Tanuki about the best on TradingView. Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's why I went with them. But yeah, some of you probably trade with Bookmap or NinjaTrader, like MentorQ. I think prints on NinjaTrader Direct now could be a good one to look at. All depends. It's worth shopping around and also seeing who has a sale on. And right, ES rejecting previous day low. Oh my God, this is getting messy. Glad we got our money when we got our money. And the rotation starts. Let me just check the hourly here. No new lows on the hourly. Oh, it's Run DMC in here. It's tricky. All right, how are we doing on the likes? We got it. Well done, folks. All right, while we're waiting for this market to make a decision. Never remember what it's called. There we go. Okay, yeah, Alex showing his age, yeah. Brain doesn't work. Brain doesn't work, and he's quoting old songs. He's an old man. Okay, type FZT once in chat. All right, remember Apex currently has a 90% sale on it, ends soon. We're going to do an Apex giveaway now. Just type it once. So FZT will get you your best price on Apex. It would get you 50% off on Lucid right now. It'll get you 40% off on Tradeify right now. And all the other ones as well. And My Funded Futures, it would get you 50% off code FlowZone. If you use FlowZone on TPT for the next week, we'll get you 50% off there after that prices are going up. You can see the reclaim, and we're coming up to the wards of 65, like I said, through 29,000, probably gets going again. That's why we don't short the lows. I could see it, could feel it wanting to do it. Doesn't make it mean I take the trade, right? Doesn't mean I take the trade. Give you guys a minute to do that. All right, so 60s, like we said, there you go. See how quickly that happened? Through 29,000, 65s, because it's where the last volume was. So I could feel this coming on the tape. But once they reclaimed, there was only one place to come back to. High volume node. It's going to get tricky now. I think it's going to get a little tricky now. All right, give you guys 10 more seconds. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tatsumi Q8M. Q8M. Tatsumi Q8M. Are you here, Tatsumi? Tatsumi Q8M. Well, if they spammed 5 times, they got pulled out. Don't worry. Congrats. All right, nice, Tatsumi. Okay, all I want you to do, my friend, email me, info@flowzonetrader.com. All right, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I can see it's your username and you're logged in, and I will send you a code for a free Apex account. Any size, any account type you want. Nice and simples. Yeah, congrats, Tatsumi. All right, you can see the battle starting to develop now. I just feel like edge has gone in this market at the moment. Don't think it's something I want to trade short side, and I don't really fancy trying to grab bids in this market yet. I don't think it's ready yet. So for me at the moment, it's a leave alone and wait. All right, what I'd kind of like to see this week, if there is going to be some strength. I mean, I would really like to see, if we think about what we're seeing here, this play out, and I wouldn't mind this being a little trap zone down here of everyone entering short late. So I wouldn't mind some move down into here, Tuesday, Wednesday. I wouldn't even mind this, and then that, and that. That I'd be open to, right? And that's where I'd feel good about bidding if we trap shorts down there, especially if we come under and reclaim. I feel good about a bid down there based on what we did the previous week. This is an area I'd really consider getting long in. If we don't do that, and this is a failed break, I almost need to see this market move up here and hold to be confident that we're going to make new highs. It's very, very risky. And if we come under here and we stay heavy, then there's a big transition point. And where's the 20-day right now? He's quite far away, Mr. 20-day. He is at 28,226, 28,226 in here. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Higher than I thought. So that's possible. Mean reversion this week is possible into here if they stay heavy, and that's the 20-day. And that would complete top bowl to 20-day mean, which we haven't done for a little while. If we think about on the daily, the last time we did that move, the last time we checked the 20-day, I mean, once we broke over it, we haven't come back for it since. So April 8th, so it's been over a month. You can see we're in solid downtrend. 20-day, lower bowl, 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 5-day, lower bowl, reclaim 5, 5-day 20 cross, reclaim and gone. And we haven't come back for the mean reversion, all right? And this is the middle of this, all right? So your top bowl, lower bowl, top bowl, lower bowl, that's your mean. So if we come back for mean, that'd be really nice. And think about getting long once we do that. Maybe even if we just undercut this and do it. I just don't want to be early to the long this week. And I think Monday, Tuesday, good chance to just let this like develop out a little bit, make a decision. We've had some nice trades today. You guys had some nice trades last night. I think you caught some pretty good stuff on Friday. You can see the churn starting now. Aggressive sellers here again off these 60s. Very aggressive off these 60s again. Alex, after you see sellers trade with orders, do you expect some type of opposing bullish order flow after? What do you mean, my friend, after you see sellers with orders? Can you... After you see sellers trapped, after I see sellers trapped, is that what you mean? Yes, but I mean, there's conditions for it, right? So the problem is at the moment is you've got higher time frame bulls. You have to understand the alignment, right? If we just go, we go to an hourly. All right, on the hourly, who would you say stuck? I would say bulls are stuck up here. Anyone who's late, bull is up here. All right, and we've confirmed that by this move, rejecting. So higher time frame, bulls are stuck up here. But we're coming into what? Pivots for bulls to defend. Lower time frame so far today, sellers are stuck down here. So we are caught between transition right now. We want to sell up here and cover down here, right? So yes, there might be some relief, but it doesn't mean we want to bid here necessarily. Does that make sense? The alignment right now, if we think about what we've got, all right, we're in a sell on the hourly, but we're in a sell down into an area where we might want to find a bid, certainly here. When we get here, we can make a bigger decision. Do we continue to sell? Do we trap? Or do we do this? One of these things is going to happen down here. I'm kind of waiting for that to come in, ideally tomorrow or Wednesday. Yeah, but like, yes, you can think if sellers stay stuck that there'll be a response, which is what you saw here. Is why I said 29,000 to 65 seems like a very probable fast move. If they reclaim 29,000, here's the reclaim of 29,000. Look how quickly it moved to 65. Why? Because it left sellers stuck. Where are the sellers stuck? Like we said, down here, these huge lots here, 76s, 68s. We came back up to 29,000. There was a big seller here, 300 lot earlier in the day. He gets under pressure, you get a squeeze up. Where do we come to? High volume. Where do we go back to? 29,000. All right, we'll rotate now until enough liquidity is stuck one side. At the moment, you got two different time frames fighting with each other a little bit. And the big thing where we saw weakness today was the chip names. We're not seeing weakness under 150s. You have to sort of plug everything in together for it to make sense, right? If we were seeing this, wakey, All right, if we were seeing this stay heavy under here, right, then we know that this is liquidity built out to be used to go lower. We're not seeing that. We've had one attempt to recover, one attempt, recover, trade back into it, recover. All right, this is a put wall. They don't want price under 150 right now. They're telling you, hey, we don't want to do that right now. We don't want to move under 150 right now. So if the chips are unwilling to do this, then this becomes possible, which means NQ is going to struggle to do what? It's going to struggle to clean this out, which is why you're seeing this. It doesn't mean the market's very bullish. It means we're building liquidity. If we look at the mag, you see how chill I am because I'm like just so uninterested right now. If we look at the mag, Apple, under IB, finding a little bit off lows. If we zoom out a bit, it's probably found a little bit of a pivot here. Here we go into, is this Friday? Into Friday where we bounced off Friday. Amazon, big extension coming back in midpoint of initial balance right now. Can hold a pivot here at 64. So it's not selling off in Amazon. Goog, big extension coming back, trying to hold. Our volume node here can potentially hold this. So it's not selling off in Goog either. Meta, barcoding. That looks absolutely terrible. I mean, that looks about as bad as you ever get. Microsoft, drive up, still holding. Potentially breaks down here if Softy lets go of New York Open. Maybe you see a wash. So that's a little bit weaker. Nvidia, weaker. Why? Chip. All right, semiconductors under pressure today, unsurprisingly. Tesla, bouncing off the lows. Probably came into a pivot. Here we go, into a bullish pivot. So how Tesla acts, I'd say at VWAP and 15s becomes important. Oracle, doing nothing. AMD, bouncing off the lows with the chips. All right, so like we put this all together. Where's the edge? Where's the edge for us to trade NQ right now? I don't think there is. I think the edge today was this, and now has diminished. Right? We've got what I call diminishing edge. The easy money, the low-hanging fruit was here to here. Would have been nice if they took this out and this out. They haven't. Why force it? Have we shifted structure to be bullish yet? No. No. We're still doing this. We're not seeing this above here. So I'm not really interested in being long, because if this is a range and I long there, I'm going to get whacked. If this is a range and I short here, I'm going to get whacked. What do I try and avoid? This. Right? Try and avoid it as much as I can because I don't trade it well. You don't always have to be in a trade, folks. It's really important you learn that. We talk about it all the time. All the time you hear me talk about it. You don't always need to be in a trade. You will watch other YouTube channels, trade and trade and trade and trade and trade. Oh, this EMA's done this, and oh, I've seen this, and no. Where's your edge, man? Like, trade less, trade your setups, and trade less. When I trade for alignment on NQ and ES, do you look for exactly the same move? I mean, look, they haven't been aligned for a while, okay? They haven't been aligned for a while because where we've seen the run up, like I've talked about, has come in the semiconductors. Where we're seeing a little bit of weakness, which is just, when I say weakness, it's a pullback. Let's just make that clear. It's a pullback after a parabolic move. We're not seeing a huge sell-off. We're seeing a pullback, just so I preference that. We're not seeing that in the ES because the ES is rotated, like we talked about this morning, healthcare, energy. So we're not necessarily seeing alignment in between the same indexes. But what I'm more interested in is, like, let's say I'm really bearish on NQ today, right? Let's just say I've come in with a bearish outlook in NQ and I'm absolutely adamant that NQ needs to come and take these out, all right? And let's say I've missed all this. We didn't get short up here. We didn't take this short here. And I'm now considering a short down here, right? That would mean I'm ignoring the sellers who are trapped. And it means I'm looking over at SOXL, which is holding its initial balance low right now after a look below and fail and after a recovery of 150. And I'm ignoring the fact that SOXL, that I need to be weak, is holding a bid. And I'm ignoring the fact that Amazon's green on the day, that Google's green on the day, that some of these names like Nvidia are starting to lift off the lows a little bit. It would mean I'm ignoring all that. Timing the market is everything. Now, if I'm still positioned short, it's different, right? If I'm still positioned short from up here, where we took the shorts this morning, or from here, I could hold, couldn't I? I could be willing to hold this. Maybe I can add on a breakdown because my core is higher, but I'm out. So if I'm a new money short, and this would be my average trade, even if it works, it's not a great location. That's what I mean. Tell you what, these 29,000s are a big level. They keep adding a lot of delta there. Look, if you look at the tape with me, it's 356 lots still not paired off. Look at the tape on the right hand side with me. Come up to 29,000. If it will let me. There it is. 356 sell side. You saw it there for a moment. It's a really big level. It's a really big level. They got very aggressive under it again, and we're still not moving low. I do think the market wants to move down here, but like, how are you going to enter here? What's the entry point? Like, are you entering at like 29,005, where we've built a bit of a shelf, but it means they've recovered that delta point? And then what are you risking? Are you risking 40s? Are you risking 70s? Like, I'm not. Fuck no. I'm good. I'm good. My RR is skewed. Even if I thought, there you go, it's a recovery of it straight away. That's like I said, even if I thought to enter this, where's my risk? Is it here? Is it here? What happens if they get there as a new swipe and it comes up to there that quick? Like, edge is gone, man. For me, edge is gone right now. It's the best way I can put it. It's the best way I can put it. Like we say, like if you play poker, right, we're getting served shit cards. Since here, even though I read this and I said I think we're going to get a nasty candle, it didn't. That was like, what's the equivalent of that being? That's like me getting a jack, right? Decent. But I see someone on the other side of the table and I'm like, man, if I get to the flop here, I think I'm going to get fucked. That's like that. It's that kind of frame of mind, right? Of like, I've got decent cards. There's a bet here available, but I reckon he's gonna do me on the flop. And let's say the flop comes and it goes ace, king, 4. I'm like, well, I'm fucked, aren't I? Right? So I had jack, and we took the flop, and they went ace, king. Well, now I've got to wonder, has the guy on the other side of the table got an ace or a king? Well, if he has, I'm fucked. There you go. That's why we don't take that trade. All right? It's a read on the market. That's like the best way I can think about it. And if you're like, what's it got to do with poker? It has everything to do with risk management. Trading is risk management. That's all it is. You are, by nature, taking a bet. You are gambling. You are gambling on edge. All right? You have to put risk on the table. That is your trade. That is a bet. You better be betting when you've got a good hand with a controlled risk amount. If you are slinging a 4-3 down here and you're like, oh, I'll take the flop, and the flop comes and it's ace, king, jack, right? And you're like, fuck it, I'm all in. Well, you're asking for it, aren't you? You're asking for it. It's exactly the same, right? It's risk management. Gotta love the Texas Hold'em comparative. It's just like an easy way of me explaining it, I think. But maybe some of you don't. I don't play it, but I watch it occasionally. But it's an easy way of understanding it, I think. If not, I don't know what to compare it to. We could compare it on the horses. It's like, I'm betting on the Grand National. My horse is in third with, I don't know, 1,000 meters to go. And then there's another horse coming up from behind. And right near the line, I go, oh, fuck it. I'm just going to stick another 10k in because I don't fucking care anymore. Yeah, that's you adding to lose a trade. It's you not managing risk. Look like a poker player. They're not sunglasses. I know they look like sunglasses. They're not sunglasses. We talk about this all the time. Look, they just look funny with the light shine on them. Right? They're reading glasses and blue light, but they're not sunglasses. They're for my terrible eyesight and stigmatism. What's the brand? Their Boss. Yeah, Boss. I don't know if you can see that. It's quite light. It's kind of hard to see. All right. Market's going to sleep here, isn't it? As we get into lunch. Unsurprising. I'd be very careful if you're holding positions. If you start to see a short covering rally at lunch, you are starting to see chips hold that IB now. Where's the VIX? VIX going absolutely nowhere as we expected today. So just consolidating. I mean, the low of days 1827, the high of days 1890. We're just chopping around. I think we've got I really think we got the best trades out today. I really do. I really do. That's what my thoughts on the Swatch AP nonsense. I mean, if you followed me on Instagram, you know my thoughts. If this offends you, I'm sorry. If this offends you, I'm sorry. Preference that. If you're buying that stupid plastic $400 piece of shite to put around your neck or on a handbag, you are exactly the same as the idiots that buy a Le Boubou, and wear it on their Supreme backpack. Get the fuck out of here, all right? Do you know you can get a really good watch for $400? If you go and look at a decent micro brand, you could get a good watch for $400. Stop it. And if you're one of the fucking idiots who queued up or attacked someone for it, get the fuck out of here as well. Go. Get out. Not interested in you ever again. It's not even limited edition. It's shite. It's absolute shite. So, no. Not interested in it. You will never catch me buying something like that. I do have one of the Amigas, but I think they're a better watch, and it's kind of cool. It was gimmicky, and it's still shit. One of my mates messaged me a few months ago. Should I get? Oh, no, don't do it. $400, man. You could get, I said about it a while ago, you could get a Fair, you could get a Baltic, you could get a Yema. There's some great watches out there, micro brands for that. Some of them you might get lucky and get a half decent automatic for it. Maybe you wouldn't get an in-house, but maybe a Miyota movement, or if you went for a Seiko, you could get a decent Seiko for that. Don't waste it on some junk, because I don't know. For me, a watch should be celebrating an occasion, or something that you're going to wear a lot, or something that you can give down in your family. Don't spend it on plastic. Don't do it. That's my personal opinion. And if you wear a Labubu, I'm sorry, but Labubu. I just think of the South Park thing. I didn't even know what it was until I watched South Park, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shite?" What's wrong with Labubu? What's your name? Did I just sing that? Lou Hentel. Lou Hentel likes a Labubu or a Labubu. I like South Park. A Lefufu. Lefufu. It's not a Lefufu, it's a Labubu. It's some stupid toy that people put around their fucking handbags, and I don't know, mate. I don't know. But yeah, there's my opinion. You asked for it, you got it. If I've offended you, I'm really sorry. But I just think you could spend that money so much better. I mean, let's just have a look. Let's have a look right now. $400. Let's see. Can you get a decent? You could certainly get one of the non-ticking. There you go. There you go, straight away. Right, yeah, Yema Rally. I mean, look at that by comparison. Much better watch. All right, it's it would be a what's it called, VK whatever, VK Seiko mechanism, I would imagine, but it would be non-ticking. They do it on a, if you like the bracelet, like, see if we can find one for you. I think these are great watches for a new enthusiast starting out. I think they're a great watch. Where is it on the bracelet? I think even new they're only $500. I mean, they're so nice. Or we could go for. Can you get a bull tick at that price? Probably near enough. Maybe a little bit more. $700. There you go. $500 for a bull tick automatic. I mean, you cannot compare. You can't teach class, my friends. You can't teach class. Apple Watch, well, I can't talk about Apple, really. I don't wear an Apple Watch, but I certainly can't speak bad about them. Some of you will know why. People queued out outside Hong Kong. Yeah, I mean, I think in London people got stabbed over it. They might be coming now, folks. Again, sellers now stacking up. You're back to the 150s again on Soxel. I mean, maybe it comes for you. It's been a pain in the butt, though. I would say this is a major pain in the butt, the way they've done it. 150 is still the level on SOXL. You let go 150s, you got a shot on SOXL. But before then, they're going to make it hard. I'm just zooming in on Bookmap to see if there's any orders. Yeah, there's lots of orders down at 950, 940, 930, 920. I mean, I don't know if some of you got the short off the point of control. Maybe you get the follow through move and come and clean out these levels, which we would have liked it to have done earlier. But I mean, if SOXL holds 150 again, you're going to struggle, and that's the level I'd be watching. You wear a Mickey Mouse watch? There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know lots of collectors that wear Mickey Mouse watches. I think Tissot did a collab with Mickey Mouse. Do I have red days in market? I do, of course I do. Yes. Normally on days where they do what we're doing now and didn't give any form of like trend entry like this is where I'd normally lose money in this, which we've avoided. Like the plague, we've avoided it. All right, another bid off 150 on SOXL here. As you get tighter and tighter, I'll give it like 5 minutes here just to see if you get the breakdown. I'm ready to go, but I just want to see, are any of you in it out of interest? Did any of you short that sort of, I don't know, 940 area, 950 area? I don't trade gold, no. $150 is your over under on the chips. If you are short, your TPs are 925 and 861. 150 held again. You can see just the chop is continuing here. Look at that, rinse off the chop. And I tell you what, if they don't get the breakdown soon, and everyone is selling here again, this still becomes available. It's like I said, it's very dangerous to trade down. It's why I'm ignoring it. Just interested some of you took it. SOXL still slightly tight. So tight to go. All right. That's it for me, folks. That's it for me. Do I participate in NinjaTrader Cup? No, I'm not doing it. We talked about it earlier. I floated it, the idea, to everyone in Discord to see if they wanted to do it. They didn't, so we're not doing it. Simple as that. 1.2k likes, is there really? All right, well, if there is, before we go, then we will... Here we go. We'll give an introduction course away if we've got that many likes. There you go. Just type course once in chat. We'll give away the 2-hour course. Just because I'm feeling kind. So just type course once. It's fine. Almost 1.2k. It's fine. We do it. So 900 rejected or 29,000 rejected. Still no breakdown of the lows. Still 150 holding SOXL. No breakdown under it. Still the chop. There you go. 900 again, or 29,000 again. ES trying to put in a high low. SOXL doesn't know what to do. It's like, do we hold it or not? Do we hold it or not? Do we hold it or not? That's what they're doing with SOXL. They're like, if they break 150, you've got a shot of those lows. If they don't, you want to be very careful if they can't. Aggressive seller coming in here at 980. You need to see him break down under 75 here. Otherwise, you go straight back up. He's just sold very, very big into this. Here's 980, here's 75. You need a break here and a wash. If you are short, you need a break here and a wash because he's got very aggressive. He's trying more, he's trying more, he's trying more. There's a bid here, he's trying more. They're in a big battle between the two of them. There's no 75 snap yet. It is a big battle here of a big, big seller and a big, big buyer rotating against each other. There you go, buy one. It's tight, 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 man. Back to the 80s again. Buyers there again. And 150 bid on again on SOXL. So you can see what I use. Like, it's why I've lost interest right now. It's too tight. You lose that. You can just set a price alert. If you lose the bid on SOXL of 150, then potentially you get these moves down here that you've been looking for today. But otherwise, you've just got to think about shorts are keep piling in and they are not getting this move. Remember, they are trying to get here and here and it's not happening. And they are piling in here, right? Here, 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 here. And the more they try without getting it, the more that this becomes available. Because they will start tripping over themselves. If one big guy covers, then another big guy covers, and it's a rush to cover, and then that happens very, very quickly. All right, let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3. I've got to get it up. 2 and 1. What a name. Riddle Diddle Winner. What a great name. Riddle Diddle Winner is the winner of the Introduction to Investing and Trading course. Just let me know you're here, Riddle Diddle Winner. Are you here, Mr. Riddle Diddle? The Riddler Diddler. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Just send me an email, okay? info@flowzonetrader.com and I'll sort you out. All right, folks, you know the score. I'll give you a little brief on what I'd look for the rest of the day. You are churning down here. All right, you do not really want to short the lows. This node here has to hold for shorts. All right, they would really like to clean all this out. So maybe they build this out today, maybe for tomorrow. What you don't want to do is be entering down here. You're going to get yourself hurt. I would not be surprised for them to pin this for a while, especially what we're seeing elsewhere in the market. It would not surprise me at all. So if we've had the easy money, right, we would have liked that taken, but we've had the easy money. Don't be forcing your way into the market. If it does do this trade down and they reclaim, your buy would be above the node. All right, unless we build a new node out down here, your buy would be back above the node for that hold and go. Okay, and that maybe comes tomorrow or Wednesday. I wouldn't be looking at that today right now. I wouldn't have thought, unless we see like a sentiment change, a news piece, something like that. I think we just continue to chop, slowly try and drift lower with the odd squeeze out if they get too caught. I don't think we're going to get a big bullish rotation today, not with what we're seeing on the mag and the broader market, but things change. One tweet can change absolutely anything. How many days until Spectre? Not long. I'll try and start working on it this afternoon and tomorrow. So I'll try and get it up for members this week, and then I'm going to have to talk to my web guy to get it on. So please be patient. I'll do the best I can. All right, team. I will see you tomorrow morning. Yeah, 9:15 tomorrow morning. Those in Discord, I'll be in there straight away after stream. I'll answer. I know lots of you have emailed, so I'll answer the emails. And we go again tomorrow, all right? Same thing, same place tomorrow. You know the score. Use hard stops. Do not fight the market. Trade what's in front of you. Lock in your profits. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Be humble. See you soon.